The late game, Manchester United against Newcastle, and your big match commentator is Chris Whiteman. Over to you, CW, at Old Trafford.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, big day, as we mentioned, for Manchester United. They really need to stop the rot. 4 games without a win. You know, dread to think 5 games without a win, which is a run that Manchester United haven't been on since 1998. So that's part of, what, 20 years since they last went 5 games without a win, as the teams come out. Newcastle wearing their light blue away strip, Manchester United wearing their traditional red with black shorts. A lot of fans holding cards up saying still united with Jose, so a lot of fan backing at least. Whether that communicates with the boardroom or not, we shall see, but clearly quite a lot of fan backing. So let's go through the teams then. I've managed to get the substitution information, so we will go through the full lineups, starting with the visitors, Newcastle United. So in goal you've got Dubravka. You've got a 4-man defence of Manquillo, Fernandez, Lascelles and Yedlin from left to right. Then you've got 2 holding midfielders in Diame and Shelvey. And then 3 in front of them, Kennedy on the left, Perez in the middle and Ritchie on the right. And then up front, the Japanese striker making his debut today, Motu. And then for Newcastle United, their substitutions, or their substitutes today, you've got Clark, Shah, Murphy, Hayden, Yosselu, Darlow and Christian Atsu. And then for Manchester United, the lineup as follows. David De Gea in goal, playing in a 4-3-3 formation, whereas Newcastle were 4-5-1 allegedly, although BT are suggesting it's a 4-4-2, but we shall see when it kicks off. Manchester United 4-3-3. De Gea in goal. You've got Shaw, Smalling, Bailey and Young in defence from left to right. You've got Pogba, Matic and McTominay as a 3-man midfield. You've got Martial on the left, Lukaku as the centre forward and Rashford on the right for United. And on the subs bench for United today, you've got Lindelof, Alexis Sanchez, Mata, Herrera, Fred, Romeo and Fellaini. So plenty of talent on the bench for Manchester United should they need it. But ultimately this is a game which they will be circling and saying this is a must-win, especially for Manchester United and Jose Mourinho's position, because it's really perilous at the moment. A lot has been said about him in the press recently, and if they don't win today, especially if they lose, imagine the scenes if they lose. It will be there'll be more pressure than on them than most dinosaur bones nowadays. We shall see. Rafa Benitez, as I see him with a smile on his face, as I mentioned earlier, he's probably in the most secure job he's ever been in his life, but can probably sympathise with Jose Mourinho's boardroom problems or lack of backing, although Mourinho has had £500 million to spend in his time at Manchester United, whereas Rafa would love to have that much money. As both teams are ready, we're just waiting for the referee to get things underway as Fred the Red, the mascot, leaves the pitch. He can't participate. The Newcastle United squad just having a little huddle just off the halfway line. Old Trafford raucous. I think they know how big a game this is, and if he's got fan backing, Mourinho, then you know that they'll want to come out on top. They'll really want them to win just for Jose Mourinho. As Newcastle looks ready to go. Dubravka wearing the number 12, the backup goalkeeper. As Jose Mourinho decides to spray the cameraman with a water bottle. Seems in reasonable spirits today. Doesn't look like a man under pressure as of yet. And Rafa Benitez, he's had quite a few successful trips to Old Trafford, most memorably that win which John mentioned back in the 2008-9 season when Liverpool came oh so close to a Premier League title, but came to Old Trafford and battered them 4-1. Goals from Fernando Torres, Fabio Aurelio and Steven Gerrard were what fueled that, what he would love to have those players in the Newcastle United team. As we get underway, Newcastle get us underway, and they are attacking the goal to our left, whereas Manchester United attacking the goal to our right. So Newcastle shooting away from their fans at the moment for this first half. It's the throw on the far side. Here's Shelvey playing it across to Fernandez. Sells his teammate a bit short, and Rashford almost locked onto it as Dubravka has to come out of his box and lump the ball forward. This near side touchline. Here's McTominay. And in possession in their own half now. Here's Bailey playing it to Smalling, just outside their own box. Pogba comes in to receive, dropping deep. Bailey again, just in the middle of the park at the moment. McTominay again, looking for Matic. Luke Shaw getting involved there on the far side as the ball's just being played around at the back a lot at the moment. Bailey and Smalling just exchanging passes between them. As I said, this could be a battle of the buses, so we could be in for a long-feeling shift today. So we shall see. Hopefully there'll be a bit of attacking prowess in this one, as the ball is lumped long by Ashley Young. Fernandes heads out of play, just on the edge of the final third. Anthony Taylor is the referee today. A lot of pressure on him, I suppose, to get decisions right at Old Trafford. Or Theatre of Screams, as it's been aptly nicknamed for this season. As Newcastle looking to win the ball back, driving forward, but a great slide tackle by Scott McTominay, the young Scot, who has had his chances given to him by that man Jose Mourinho. He'll be very grateful for his opportunity, much like Rashford would always be grateful to Louis van Gaal for giving him his first chance in the first team. The throw goes long, baffled back as Richie loses it out to Paul Pogba. Pogba switching the play to the far side now with Anthony Martial heading towards the byline, playing it inside to Pogba. Pogba tries to one-two it with his countryman Martial. Martial tries to play it inside the penalty area as Matic goes tumbling on the edge of the box, and Newcastle win the ball back. No foul. Now Newcastle bringing it over the halfway line. That is a foul by Paul Pogba, and a free kick given for a foul on Matt Ritchie just on the halfway line. It was Eric Bailly actually who gave the foul away. He'd pushed so far up I thought it was Pogba. 2 minutes gone, or 3 minutes now. Manchester United 0, Newcastle 0. Used to be a great rivalry back in the day when Newcastle were the top four side. The ball is pumped long into the box. The header's won by Kennedy. Almost falls to Manquillo, but doesn't. Newcastle still have the ball on the edge of the Manchester United box. Ball is whipped in by Diame, but it doesn't find anyone. And then Luke Shaw takes the ball. Matic spreads out to McTominay on this near side. He's got Ashley Young ahead of him. Ashley Young heading up just to the halfway line, plays it back to McTominay. McTominay looked like he was going to ping a long ball forward, doesn't. Instead goes back to Eric Bailly. Smalling, bring it forward to Paul Pogba, just inside the Newcastle half now on the far side with Anthony Martial. Back to Pogba, sorry. Switching it back to Ashley Young this time on this near side, whipping across in towards the back post, just a bit too far ahead of Romelu Lukaku, and that's going to go out for a throw on the opposite side near the corner flag. Lukaku wasn't really on his toes there. It's a great find by Paul Pogba. Ashley Young had plenty of time to line up across. United though win the ball back. Here's Scott McTominay driving forward, although he's shown too much of that to Lascelles, and now Matt Ritchie looking to break, bringing it over the halfway line now, and that's another foul. This time it was Lukaku with the foul. That's a striker's challenge for you. Again on the halfway line inside the centre circle. Should really be a booking that, but it's so early on. I think Anthony Taylor doesn't want to get the Old Trafford crowd on his back. Could have arguably been a yellow card, but there you go. As Rafa Benitez is now having that discussion with the fourth official. How was that not a yellow card? I totally agree, Rafa. So you're at Old Trafford, remember? Referee's not going to go crazy as they take it short. Shelby plays it short to Ritchie. Ritchie pinging it in left-footed towards the back stick, looking for Kennedy, who wins the header, but it falls to a United body, and it's hooked out for a throw on this near side by Lukaku. So we hit the 5-minute mark. Sal's made his way all the way up there, and now he's going to trot his way back. Manquillo is going to take this throw just on the edge of the Manchester United final third. Trying to 1-2 it with Kennedy, but it didn't quite come off as Ashley Young wins it back, and now he's set Marcus Rashford on his bike down this near side wing. Tried to play it into the middle with Pogba, but Pogba couldn't quite reach it, although it's gone all the way through to Luke Shaw, who's picked up the pieces. Now Martial on that far side touchline. Need to play it back to Pogba. Pogba playing it inside to Matic, who's ventured forward. He's got McTominay to his right. He can't find him, and John Joe Shelby trying to ping the ball forward, but it's dealt with by Smalling. Just about. McTominay gets his feet sorted and manages to get it back to Bailey, or Eric Bailly, however you want to pronounce it. Pogba playing it forward. We're in the middle of the park at the moment. Back to Pogba. Just bringing it over the halfway line towards the far side touchline. Good support from Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw plays it back to Smalling. No real opportunities as of yet. It's got that worrying sign of two very non-attacking teams facing each other at the moment. And Manchester United trying to head up that far side touchline with Luke Shaw, loses out to Yedlin. Ball's gone out of play. And it's actually come off Luke Shaw, who tried to win it back. And it's gone out for a Newcastle throw. They throw it, they take the quick throw, Newcastle United, and there's an opportunity. The ball's gone forward, and Kennedy's driving into the box. Shot left-footed! Newcastle United have taken the lead. 7 minutes gone, and Kennedy has he's just buried it. Bottom left-hand corner. Manchester United were completely asleep. Even the cameraman wasn't paying attention. Newcastle took a quick throw, one pass. Kennedy was on his bike. Just a strike from inside the penalty box, left-footed into the bottom left-hand corner. De Gea's got no chance. And the former Chelsea man, well, he's on loan from Chelsea, has given Newcastle United the lead against Manchester United. Quick throw, one pass. He turned. I think it was Ashley Young who was tracking him. He came all the way over from left-back. He shouldn't have been found central. Switched it inside to his left, curled it, bottom left-hand corner. And Manchester United, well, read that. You can see the headlines already, can't you? No wins in 4. It could be looking as 5. Mourinho is absolutely livid on that touchline. He saw exactly what happened, and the travelling Toon support is going absolutely mental. What a start from Newcastle United. Kennedy with the goal on the stroke of the 7th minute, and Newcastle United have won a free kick on the halfway line as well. So Manchester United aren't even going to hit them straight from the kickoff. Jose Mourinho looking, he's not happy. He's not a happy man at all. Newcastle United take another quick free kick, get it to the byline, and it's blocked out for a corner by Chris Smalling, and Newcastle are right on it. Goodness me. It's a corner on that far side. Old Trafford is stunned. This does not look like a team that's fighting for their manager. They're lethargic. That was the first shot of the match, by the way. First shot, first goal. We're up and running. Whipped in towards the penalty spots. Hacked away by Paul Pogba, but it's only going to go out for a throw in line with the edge of the box. I just get the sense it's going to be one of those days for United. Whipped in cross deep towards the penalty spot. Kennedy takes it down, has a shot. It's 2-0, and it's the debutant. The Japanese striker Muto has gone and scored 2 goals in 2 minutes for Newcastle United, and Manchester United are falling apart. It's all going wrong, and Newcastle again, quick throw, ball whipped in, headed down by Kennedy, controlled beautifully by Muto, and smashed into the bottom left-hand corner again, and Old Trafford is silenced. It's incredible. This is incredible scenes right now. If you want to see the wheels coming off a wagon, you're watching and hearing it right now. John Joe Shelby whipped it in towards the penalty spot, knocked down perfectly. Not Yoshida, I'm thinking of the wrong Japanese striker. Muto turns his man. I think it was Eric Bailly who was trying to mark him. Literally turned him onto his left foot. Smashes it. De Gea's got absolutely no chance. He could do nothing about the 2 goals. And, well, Rafa Benitez, he has a habit of doing things at Old Trafford, doesn't he? But this, he could not have imagined this start. Newcastle United fans in absolute dreamland. As for United, well, I did mention the theatre of screams earlier. Right now, well, there's no screaming. It's just silence, really. Old Trafford is stunned. 2 goals in 2 minutes for Newcastle United and Manchester United, the Red Devils. I'm going to just stop saying United after Newcastle because it's going to make my commentary duty so difficult. It's a throw on this near side to Manchester United. Ed Woodward, the executive vice chairman, looking on rather glumly, arms crossed. Mourinho looks like he's going to explode. Newcastle United fans they're making all the noise right now. The atmosphere is electric, but what a start. Who would have seen this coming? I suppose a lot of Mourinho critics would have seen this coming. It's United looking to build from the back here. Looking like a desperate team right now. The pass is a bit quick and sloppy. Newcastle pressing high up. Muto closing them down, not giving them any time. Pogba bringing it up into the centre circle, looking to ping a long ball forward towards Anthony Martial, who's got to the Newcastle byline on that far side. Got 2 Newcastle United players with him, and they've put it out for a throw. Mike Ashley is in attendance to answer the question, and he's on his phone. Maybe talking to somebody looking to bid for the club, perhaps. They live in hope. There's Ashley Young. The ball switched to him on this near side. Tries to get across, but it's blocked, so it's gone out for another throw. Captain today, Ashley Young. Throws it in towards Pogba, who's just on the byline. Got John Joe Shelby following him all the way. Shelby forcing him backwards. Pogba not releasing the ball, and eventually 3 Newcastle players descend on him. Ashley Young picks up the pieces, and then Muto gives away a cheap free kick, really. And, well, it's a free kick to United. If you're just joining us, we are 12.5 minutes in. Listen to this scoreline. Manchester United 0, Newcastle 2. 2 goals in 2 minutes for Newcastle. And Rafa Benitez barking orders to his defence. 2 goals for Newcastle in an incredible start from Kennedy and Muto. Ashley Young's going to deliver this free kick from this near side touchline. Whips it in towards the back stick. It's headed upwards. It's not towards goal though, as it's cleared away again from throw on this near side. Ashley Young again looking for options. Pogba plays it straight back to him. Ashley Young though being forced backwards as he's got no options. Gets it inside to Martial. And it's given away, and now Newcastle United looking to break. Here's Kennedy advancing down this near side touchline. He's got Muto ahead of him. Muto running against Bailey. Kept it in. And the referee's given a free kick and bails Manchester United out there. There's Muto allegedly pushing Bailey over. Let's have a look here. There's very little in that, to be honest. Anthony Taylor's just giving Manchester United a breather there. Not really a free kick, but they've got off lightly. Could have been 3-0. As United just trying to regain some composure as Newcastle continuing to pile the pressure on. Here's Muto getting it just inside the United half, but they win the ball back. And now McTominay trying to get the ball forward. He's gone down. There's fouled by Matt Ritchie just inside the centre circle. What could you possibly have up your sleeve, Jose, if anything? Almost far side now with Martial. Plays it forward to Romelu Lukaku, heading towards the corner. That's not really where he wants to be going. It's being well marshalled by Lascelles, keeping him in there. It's a corner to Manchester United on that far side. Lascelles preventing the cross from Lukaku. I'm not sure. I suppose McTominay got himself in that position. McTominay's very much a utility man, can play up front, in midfield and in defence. He's probably played in goal as well. It's going to be whipped in towards the penalty spot, headed back over the bar by Newcastle United players. And Keogh was the man who got his head on it. It's a corner on the opposite side now, on this near side. It's going to absolutely nobody, that corner. Maybe they can get a better cross here. As Anthony Taylor just having a few words with McTominay. And Manquillo, who's marking him, and sitting in front of the goalkeeper. Sunday League tactics, that. Go stand on the goalkeeper. 15 minutes gone. Whipped in by Ashley Young towards the back post, headed in towards the 6-yard box. It's fallen kindly and it's been hacked away by Manquillo, and Newcastle United can just get out and get some shape. Although Manchester United have run out of pitch as it goes out for a throw on this near side. Ashley Young trying to get Rashford on his bike, but put too much on the pass. And it's kills the attack dead, and Newcastle can get a bit of their breath back. So what are everyone's thoughts of this game so far? Bye Jose, says one. Mourinho is an idiot, says another. It's all going wrong, really, isn't it, for Manchester United? There's a quick throw again by Newcastle, nearly catching people out, but Manchester United win the ball back. That's in the centre circle with Smalling. Shaw switching it to the far side now with Martial. Pogba, Martial again, getting it into the middle of the park for McTominay. Now Matic, and back to Smalling and Bailey, who are just sitting on the halfway line now in the centre circle. Here's an interesting stat for you. Most goals conceded. 2 teams on 17, Cardiff and Huddersfield. 16 for Fulham. And then Manchester United are 4th with 14 goals conceded. Not a good stat to have, is it? It's Newcastle looking to try and bring the ball forward now. There's an opportunity. Diame playing it out to that far side with Ritchie. Ritchie looking for options. Can he cross it? He's laid it back to John Joe Shelby, who's thinking about having a shot from distance. Has a shot from distance and forces De Gea into a cracking save. Shelby unleashing that right foot shot from outside the area. He's been the former Liverpool man. That was going top corner as well. David De Gea, who's just pulled out a worldie of a save. Goodness me. Big strong right hand to stop that one flying in. That could have been 3-0 as well. So it's corner to Newcastle on that far side. Whipped in towards the front post, so it's fallen to Diame, and I tell you what, I think Bailly just got a bit of a touch on it, and it's landed kindly for David De Gea, who's lumped the ball forward looking for Martial, who was on his bike. They can't quite find him, headed away by Lascelles. Manchester United though pick up the second ball. Here's Pogba getting it to Rashford. He's got Shaw on the overlap, heading towards the byline. Loses out though to Lascelles, who has been a titan so far, stopping anything coming in from that right hand side whenever they get past Yedlin. It's Manchester United again looking to build from the back. McTominay bringing it forward from the halfway line, gives it to Matic, who pings it out wide to this near side with Ashley Young, looking to perhaps whip in an early cross. Doesn't though, tries to cross it this time and it's blocked out, and now there's a substitution happening here. No injury. So a tactical change by Jose Mourinho. Eric Bailly has come off and Juan Mata has come on. So what kind of change in shape could this be? It's a corner anyway. Whipped in by Ashley Young towards the penalty spot, headed in by McTominay, but it was actually Matic, but straight at Dubravka. Well, that was on the money on the penalty spot. Powerful header, but straight at the goalkeeper. So Matic for Bailey. Who's going to be playing centre-back? Is McTominay going to go drop? I'm guessing McTominay will drop to centre-back. There's Newcastle United looking to break away here. They're heading towards the byline on that far side. Get it inside to Muto. Turns on the edge of the box. Lays it off to Perez, who has a shot. Oh, wow, I say a shot. That was more of a pass straight to the goalkeeper. It trickled along the ground so slowly. But, still, that's another shot on target. They've certainly been the more gun-ho side so far in terms of shooting. So we're about to hit the 20th minute mark. Manchester United 0, Newcastle 2. 2 early goals in the first 10 minutes have given Newcastle United a 2-goal lead at Old Trafford. My goodness me, McTominay almost giving the ball away there. Had to dive back in to get that back. And his left, I think it's Perez. Oh my word! I'll tell you what, if Anthony Taylor has seen that, that could be borderline red card. That on the goal scorer on Muto. Had a heavy touch, McTominay, and then dived back in to try and win it back. Goodness me. Anyway, Manchester United get us back underway. Looking for a long ball. And that's gone straight through to Dubravka. Does keep it in play. Stops it going out for a corner, because it was headed on by Fernandez. He's contesting with Lukaku. Dubravka just bouncing the ball a couple of times, placing it on the floor, and lumping it long. Looking for Ritchie, who flicks it on towards Muto. He can't quite get the better of Bailey. Not Bailey, sorry. That's going to be Pogba. Bailey's no longer on the pitch. I'm going to have to completely change my notes here. That's a really annoying substitution that Jose's made, but there you go. As United looking to build from back, here's Pogba in the centre circle. Yeah, McTominay has dropped to centre back, so we're still saying 4-3-3. Maybe Bailey was having some problems. He did have some strapping on his right wrist. Perhaps he had an issue there in terms of pain tolerance, and can continue. Anyway, Manchester United bring the ball into the Newcastle United half. Here's Lukaku, finds himself on this near side touchline, whipping the ball in towards the box, and it's a header by, oh goodness me, Marcus Rashford. Just have a look at this again. I couldn't work out who it was. It was whipped in by Lukaku. That was a cross of a seasoned winger towards the back post. Goalkeeper didn't come for it, and Marcus Rashford had a free header and he's headed it just wide to the left of goal. And Jose Mourinho just holds his arms out like, what? You can't ask for a better opportunity. Lukaku has crossed it on the money, and well, if it was roles reversal, would it have resulted in a goal? We don't know. Anyway, it's a goal kick to Newcastle, pumped long by Dubravka. Gone out for a throw on the halfway line. Absolutely Anonymous is chiming in. We are absolute banter FC. Would be hilarious if it didn't hurt so much. It's painful to watch as a non-United fan, to be honest. Anyway, ball switched out wide with Juan Mata, fresh off the bench. Here's Ashley Young now, heading towards the byline, heading towards the corner flag more likely. He's being forced further and further towards it. Manquillo's marshalling him really well. Stops the cross again. It's a throw this time though, just next to the corner flag on this near side. And being forced to throw it back to Matic. Goes back to McTominay, just on the halfway line. Smalling. Switch to the opposite flank now with Luke Shaw. Excuse me. Martial. Looking for Rashford. Back to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw whipping in a deep cross, headed away by Lascelles. Only as far as Paul Pogba on the edge of the box. Thought about shots. Does have a shot, it's deflected. It's gone out for a corner. Thought about the shot first time, but Jonjo Shelvey was stood on the way and then just shimmied it onto his left foot. And then it was blocked by Lascelles again, who has been superb so far. Corner on the far side. Whipped in, doesn't find anyone, but Pogba's picked up the pieces, brings it to this near side byline, whipped in a deep cross by Ashley Young towards the back stick, looking towards McTominay, headed away and hacked away this time by Muto. Just gone out for a throw just inside the Newcastle half. On this near side, there are shouts for handball there. Manquillo did have his arm in the air, but it didn't actually touch his arm at all, so nothing to be given there. Pogba just on this near side, not quite on the touchline, plays it inside to Matic. Matic switching out wide to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw looking for a low cross, but it's dealt with again by Lascelles. Clearance goes all the way back to Chris Smalling. Now McTominay just inside his own half. Here's Ashley Young now, just inside the Newcastle half, being forced to play it back though. Kennedy pressuring. It's Manchester United's home record under Jose Mourinho. Played 41, won 24, drawn 13, only lost 4 times at Old Trafford. So a 5th defeat here could be fatal for his Manchester United career, as Newcastle United win the ball back on the halfway line. Here's Matt Ritchie, bringing it forward. They plays it back to Jonjo Shelvey just on the halfway line, looking to ping the ball forward towards Muto, but that's got too much on it and he can't quite reach it. It's gone out for a throw, just in line with the edge of the United box. The Manchester United box, should I say. Both teams have United in their name. Both United in bordering banter. That's about as far as it goes with these two clubs right now. They are worlds apart in terms of their situations. Manchester United complaining about being mid-table, whereas Newcastle would be happy to be mid-table presently. It's gone out for a throw on this near side. Manquillo going to take the throw, gets it straight back from his teammate, and then proceeds to lump it long towards Muto. Ashley Young wins it back though and tries to chip it forward towards Lukaku. Fired back up the pitch again, this time by Fernandez. Pogba's got the ball back though and is heading up this near side touchline. Runs into three Newcastle players. Matta's trying to get involved now. Diame gets his toe on it, and then Ashley Young blasts it out of play. And then attempts to claim the throw, but you're not fooling anyone with that one. And it's a throw in about probably in the middle of the half, if that makes sense, on this near side. Throws it long. Smalling wins the header, but illegally, says the referee. He was climbing all over the back of Perez. Quite rightly given. Mourinho a little bit annoyed with that decision, and Newcastle looking to take a quick free kick here, and Perez is in the box, heading towards the edge of the 6-yard box, whips in towards the back stick, can't find anyone though. It's going to go out for a throw to Manchester United on that far side. Just couldn't quite find anyone with that. It put so much power onto that cross, I don't think Peter Crouch would have struggled with Usain Bolt pace to reach that. Anyway, Newcastle. There's two Uniteds involved here. It's really annoying for commentary. Newcastle have the ball now. They're bringing it over the halfway line on this near side. After Manchester United attempted a long ball. Here's Manquillo. Up against Ashley Young, exchanging passes with Kennedy. Heading towards the corner flag. It's too early for those kind of tactics. Looking to win a throw. The referee's given the throw Manchester United's way, much to Kennedy's annoyance. Ashley Young whinging about having no options to throw to as they're all running away from him. Come on, lads, this is Sunday League level stuff. Ends up having to throw it all the way back to David De Gea. It's the only open man. Switches the place to that far side with Martial, who had himself open only briefly though, as Newcastle immediately descend upon him. Goes back to De Gea. Possession currently 70-30 in favour of Manchester United. Ball's lumped long, but headed away by Lascelles. Manchester United pick up the second ball though. Here's Ashley Young just inside the Newcastle half on this near side. Tomine gives it to Matic. Matic heads into the centre circle, gives it to Pogba. Pogba switches it out wide to Luke Shaw, who's pushing a long way up. Thought about the deep cross, but can't find anyone, and Lascelles is in there again, clearing the ball. Lascelles so far standing out as a man of the match candidate. He's stopping everything coming down that left-hand side of Manchester United's attack. The ball's forced all the way back to David De Gea, just on the edge of his own box, obviously. And be on the edge of the Newcastle box. I think it'd have to be pretty terrible if David De Gea would resort to that in the 30th minute. On the far side now with Martial. Exchanging passes. Here's Matic. Playing it into the middle of the park. Mata. Being forced back out wide again, and that's a sloppy pass, and now Newcastle looking to break away here. And this, well, big slide tackle by the Manchester United player. It's gone out for a throw as he slid it onto the Newcastle player. And Manchester United immediately switch it to the right back position with Ashley Young, who immediately then switches it to the far side, looking for Luke Shaw, headed out by Yedlin. We're seeing Alexis Sanchez warming up on the touchline now. Could possibly be subbing him on at this stage. Manchester United looking to build from the back. McTominay giving it to Ashley Young. Young looking for a long ball over the top, looking for Lukaku, but can't find anyone, and it's gone straight through to Dubravka, who takes his time in picking the ball up. As we've entering the 31st minute. Here's Manquillo looking for a ball forward to Muto. Muto gets to the byline, looking to whip in across, but doesn't find anyone. And Manchester United looking to break here. Ashley Young plays it forward down that near side touchline with Lukaku, battling his way past two Newcastle United players up the touchline. Then drives it into the middle of the park, switches the ball to the far side where Martial is waiting, looking for an opportunity to get the ball in the box. Gets to the byline, plays a low cross and it's hacked away by Shelvey. Promising opportunity for Manchester United, but not pounced upon. It's kept in play though by Luke Shaw. Shaw plays to Pogba, Pogba to Mata. Now Matic. Oh, this is really this is a tongue twister for commentary. Heading towards the byline now, Manchester United. And Diarmé forced to make a sliding challenge on Mata, and the ball's gone out for a corner on that far side. Mata looking to deliver, whips it in towards the penalty spot. Headed by Smalling, plucked out the air though by Dubravka, as it was a looping header. And he takes his time to throw the ball out. Now it's Manquillo trying to find Kennedy, but Ashley Young read it like a book. Just about gets it back to McTominay. Although McTominay inexplicably gave the ball away to Shelvey in the centre circle, and then Shelvey gives the ball straight back to Ashley Young. And a bit of shirt pulling going on, and the referee's given a free kick in Manchester United's favour, which they take quickly, giving it to Smalling. Smalling then switches the play to the far side with Luke Shaw. Now Martial heading down the touchline. Luke Shaw giving him plenty of support. Luke Shaw on the edge of the Newcastle box, trying to play it back to Lukaku, but his first touch lets him down and Shelvey pounces on it. Shelvey doing a great job to keep things from getting to their back four. He's managing to intercept stuff as Newcastle just bringing the ball into the Manchester United half, switching to play to this near side with Manquillo. Now Kennedy plays it inside to Diarmé, who is shoved off the ball by Pogba illegally in Anthony Taylor's books. He hasn't been booked though. Just a bit of a robust challenge. I'd argue that's shoulder to shoulder, but as does Mourinho, who again getting agitated on the touchline. I think that's shoulder to shoulder, to be honest. That's a bit of a harsh free kick given against you, but when luck's against you, these are the kind of calls that you don't get, even if you are Manchester United at Old Trafford. Joe Shelvey's going to take this free kick. It's about just inside the half. Pings it towards the back stick for Muto. It's headed back in by Lascelles. And David De Gea almost drops it in front of Muto, but gathers it at the second attempt. Goodness me. If you want to say that Manchester United are nervy, goodness me, if David De Gea is not even composed, help them. Somebody help them. He did gather it up at the second attempt, to be fair. So it just deceiving everyone in thinking that he was going to gift. Goodness me. It was a good save. A header from Muto, and it just he manages to palm it down onto the grass. It rebounds off his face and almost falls back into Muto's possession, but he gathers it in the second attempt. When you're a world-class goalkeeper, you get that kind of luck, I suppose. There's Manchester United looking to push Newcastle all the way as it's hacked away. This time by Diarmé. So straight back to Smalling, who's looking to build from the back again. Here's Pogba just on the halfway line on this near side. Mata in the centre circle. Smalling just bringing it into the Newcastle half, playing it out wide to Luke Shaw, who's playing more as a winger than a left back. Shaw again, just one-twoing it with Mata, who heads to the touchline, looks forward for Martial, who tries to turn his man Lascelles, and he's actually won a goal kick off of the United player there. As we're just looking at a replay of the Newcastle United's first goal. It's a quick throw, one pass straight away from midfield, straight into the path of Kennedy. Instant attack, and then the second one, the great turn by Muto. Newcastle United fans making tons of noise in that corner. Their travelling support is always noisy, I've got to say. They do boast one of the best supports in the country, to be honest, in the world, if I'm quite frank, considering everything that's going on at Newcastle United. For them to remain as faithful as they are, it'd be quite easy to turn around and say, forget it, I'll support someone else until the ownership's gone. But no, they're backing their boys to the hilt, as always. As Newcastle United win a free kick just inside the Manchester United half. I can't use the word United, basically. It's going to be fired in by Shelvey. And towards the penalty spot, towards Lascelles, who heads over the bar. He's winning everything tonight, Lascelles. Questions of offside, but Lascelles wasn't the target. Sorry, Lascelles was the target, but he wasn't the man offside. It was someone else. But either way, didn't matter. As one matter, speaking of matters, is advancing into the Newcastle half. Although he's met with a wall of light blue and forced to go back to Smalling. Now Pogba in the centre circle. Switches out to the far side with Luke Shaw. Old Trafford still eerily quiet, apart from those Newcastle fans. Martial looking for Lukaku, who is holding up on the byline, but again hacked away, this time by Diame. Some Manchester United fans getting a bit frustrated. Shouting some choice words at their players. As Diame battling with Matic for the ball. Pogba picks up the pieces in the middle of the park. Looking for options, plays it into Lukaku. Just lays it off to absolutely nobody but Shelvey. Then almost gives the ball away, and now an opportunity for Newcastle to counter-attack. Here's Manquillo bringing it up this near side touchline. Now Kennedy, who hung in the touchline. A lovely slide tackle by Pogba. And Manchester United have given it away on the edge of their own box, this time to Kennedy. We're trying to get past Ashley Young, and a free kick has been given to Newcastle for shirt pulling on Ashley Young. Anthony Taylor saw something that the cameras didn't quite pick up. It was a great slide tackle by Paul Pogba. Unfortunately, no Manchester United player was awake to pick up the second ball. It was actually Perez who headed to the byline. This is literally... it's a free kick to Newcastle, basically on this near side byline. Almost on the goal line, if that makes sense. It's basically a really short corner. It'll be John Joe Shelvey to take. The third goal here would really cause problems at half-time, and oh well, it was played low across the ground, and I can't make out who attempted that shot. It was Matt Ritchie in the end. Went for the left-footed strike, but unfortunately slipped on the penalty spot as he went to strike it. Although he's arguing that he was tripped, but I don't think there was much in that. Manchester United tried to get the ball rolling quick from the goal kick. Although his ball's bouncing around near this near side touchline. Shelvey gets his head on it. A bit of head tennis going on, and McTominay being forced to head it out for a throw deep in the Manchester United half. On this near side, Newcastle just taking their time. As Manquillo comes all the way up to take it. Just in line with the edge of the penalty box. Throws it in towards Kennedy. Kennedy gets it to Perez. It's gone out for another throw to Newcastle. Kennedy again receives it from the throw. But he's been hassled all the way by McTominay. McTominay battling and putting out for another throw. Benitez on the edge of his own technical area, barking orders. Throws taken quickly, and another free kick being given in a dangerous position for Newcastle as McTominay this time pulls Muto over. It's a free kick again near the byline, not quite so near the corner flag, but still in a dangerous position. 39 minutes gone, still 2-0 to Newcastle. There are plenty of set pieces to practice with. Can they make this one stick? Matt Ritchie and Shelvey standing over the ball. It's going to be Shelvey to deliver it towards the front post, and he put so much whip on it, it's gone out for a goal kick, although he's insisting that took a nick off the Manchester United player. It did actually. It took it actually came off Ashley Young's arm. That's I mean, that's a penalty by the book. But it's Old Trafford, so I don't mean that as a dig, but Anthony Taylor's never going to see that anyway. It happens so quick when you blast it out the wall like that. And Manchester United look to build another attack, but then Lukaku just passes it out of play. should that, well, that's going to be the discussion. We're just seeing another replay. Should that be a penalty to Newcastle, let alone a corner? If that's not a penalty, it's a corner, and they got Manchester United got a goal kick out of it. A saving grace, perhaps. Will we look back at that later on in the game if Manchester United find the fight back? However, they've given the ball away on the halfway line, and it's Diame advancing forward. He hasn't got much support. Diame blasting his way through the defence, but his shot is straight at David De Gea. Goodness me. He was bulldozing, bullying Manchester United's defence there. Nobody could get him off the ball apart from himself. Here's Manchester United looking again to bring the ball forward. Matic plays it out to the far side with Martial. Martial being forced backwards though to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw gives it back though once he's given a bit more space. Here's Matic. Now Pogba in the middle of the Newcastle half. Although blue shirts descending on him quickly. Though he somehow manages to find Lukaku. Lays it off to Pogba on the follow-up, but it's an easy shot to Dubravka, who saves it with ease. Left foot strike again by Pogba. Side foot. Goalkeeper had that covered all day long. Did have a bit of whip on it as it skidded off the turf, but got down low to catch that. He drop kicks it towards the centre circle. First header won by Newcastle, but is then lumped forward. Tominay's now going to pick up the pieces, is he? No, David De Gea is demanding the ball, so he gets it. Mourinho stood in the technical area, hands in his pockets, with a face like thunder. And I would be too if I was Manchester United manager. 2-0 down to, no disrespect to Newcastle, but a team in the bottom three. It really shouldn't be happening. But credit to where Newcastle deserve it. They started that first 10 minutes at a lightning pace, with Manchester United still playing it around at the back. Here's Smalling now, switching it to the far side with Martial. Back to Luke Shaw. Shaw plays it inside to Pogba. Pogba plays it back out wide on that far side to Martial. Gives it straight back to Luke Shaw. Tries to play it inside to Pogba, but I think Kennedy's thrown himself in there, winning the ball back, but it's not gone out for a throw quite yet. Manchester United looking to try and build an attack again. Getting it to the byline, whipping in a low cross from Mata, but again Dubravka straight off his line and picks out that cross. No trouble at all. We enter the last 2 minutes of this first half. Newcastle, they don't really look troubled, to be honest. They haven't really had any troubles at all defending Manchester United. And, well, with Manchester United also having already used one sub already, with taking Eric Bailly off for Juan Mata, I don't know what Jose Mourinho could possibly do in the second half to change things. Oh no, Manchester United have given the ball away on the edge of the box now. And there's a chance for Matt Ritchie, who has an air shot. Just lost his footing at the crucial moment and has gone out for a goal kick. And goodness me, Chris Smalling saying he didn't get any shout of man on. And Manchester United again getting away with it. The score realistically could be 4 or 5-0 to Newcastle if one, Newcastle had kept, put on longer studs, and two, if a penalty had been awarded for handball by, I say handball, it's come off Ashley Young's arm and a free kick, but nonetheless arguable for that penalty decision. Here's Ashley Young on this near side, heading towards the byline, looking to whip it across towards the back stick, headed away by the Cells. It's only gone as far as Luke Shaw, who on the other byline, who looks to whip it across again, this time headed away by Yedlin. Only as far as Matic on the edge of the box, hacked away again, this time by Mo Diame. Only as far as Smalling, who plays it back to McTominay just on the halfway line. Manchester United building up a head of steam. They'll really want to get themselves a goal before the half-time whistle goes. They're looking to build from the back. As Manchester United just struggling to break down Newcastle here. Here's Martial on the far side. Looking for Pogba. Having a shot from distance, but it's deflected. It's gone out for a corner to United. Manchester United, should I say? Like I said, I can't say Manchester. I can't say the word United in this game. It's really annoying. whipped in towards the penalty area, headed away by Newcastle as that is cheered by that travelling Toon. It's gone out for a throw. No, it's indicated as a corner actually on this near side. 2 minutes of added time left. Ashley Young's going to whip this one in towards the front stick. It's gone as far as Yedlin. He gets it out to Kennedy, and now Perez is advancing, who is wiped out by McTominay to stop a fast break, and that's a blatant yellow card which Anthony Taylor dishes out with no hesitation. Well, claims of handball there by Muto actually. Tell you what, that could be a penalty as well, to be fair. But I suppose you could say that that's evened out then. Come off Muto's arm. But I suppose that evens out the questionable decision with Ashley Young's arm in the wall earlier, as we're into the second minute of added on time. Newcastle United in possession on this near side in the Manchester United half. It was actually Luke Shaw who picked up the yellow card, apparently. I thought it was McTominay who hacked the man down. As we hit the 47th minute, Ashley Young's free kick. Won a free kick. Lumps it long, and that is it for the first half. And my oh my, you can already see the headlines as Newcastle United, 2 early goals, lead at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United 0, Newcastle 2 at half time. I'm going to get my breath back after that scintillating first half and have a drink, as my voice is going to have to somehow keep up with hopefully what will be a frenetic second half. But a real shock on the cards here as Newcastle are leading at Old Trafford as Jose Mourinho jogs back to the changing rooms for what will no doubt be a very interesting half-time team talk. Over to you, John. Well, I said over to you, John. I don't know if he's there. Are we having the old technical gremlins of forgetting to switch the microphone back on? Anyway, whilst we're waiting for John to get back to us, let's have a look at the comments section. So, a lot of people talking. We've got Marcus Beaumont. Hi, how is everyone? We're all good. We're all good here. Street cred is here. Man Disunited. Jose. I take it. Yes. You'll never walk alone. I take it you're a Liverpool fan, Street cred. This will be mildly entertaining for rival fans, I suppose. But what a start by Newcastle United. 2-0 up inside 10 minutes. Incredible. Well, let's look at how things are in terms of half-time. The United fans are going absolutely mad. In fact, let's look at social media, shall we? Because I'm sure Twitter is going to be on fire right now. Gary Lineker, blimey, Manchester United are 2-0 down at home to Newcastle United in 10 minutes. But Mourinho does have a nice haircut. Yeah, sums it up pretty well, I suppose. Obviously, Manchester United will be trending. So let's have a look. Manchester United Newcastle. Amid speculation, obviously there's a lot of speculation that this will be Jose's last game in charge regardless of what happens. But a lot of talk about the handball by Ashley Young. Which, well, it probably should have been a penalty, but then of course the goal scorer Muto did the corner came off his arm, so you could say that call was ruled out. But let's talk about, in fact...
I'm actually back now, Chris, funnily enough.
Oh, he's alive. He's alive, people. Right.
Yes, I was just on the phone to my brother. Sorry about that. We do want to play Sean Dyche's interview at half-time anyway, but...
okay, well, I'm going to get my voice back.
Okay.
I'll leave it all to you.
Okay, Chris, thank you very much indeed. Thanks for doing that. Yes, we'll be joining Chris back in 10 minutes, but I thought Burnley were bad this afternoon in the second half, and I've got some strong words to say. We're going to play Sean Dyche's interview in a minute, and I'm going to have my say, because I've been jousting with Darren Bentley, the media manager, on Twitter whilst Chris was doing the commentary of that first half. Manchester United are on the brink here. They were shocking in this first half over at Old Trafford, absolutely shocking, and credit to Newcastle. They looked like a team that were not in the bottom three at the start, and with all due respect should be 3-0 up. And yes, if you want my opinion on the penalty that should have been given when John Joe Shelby floated the free kick in from the left, clear handball by Young, and I think Mr Taylor, the referee Anthony Taylor, has absolutely missed that one. It should be 3-0 to Newcastle without a shadow of a doubt. Absolutely anonymous. Great commentary from Chris, as usually is, and he says, pack your bags, Pogba. Woodward should be a privilege to wear that great shirt. You can tell what he makes of it, and I have to agree. United don't look the side they once were under Sir Alex Ferguson. Gary Neville sums it all up, really. It is Manchester United. It's been run as if it's a game of Football Manager by the owners and Ed Woodward, and they're on their third manager since Sir Alex Ferguson left. They tried David Moyes. They signed him on a 5-year contract in 2013. He lasted 8 months, wasn't given a chance, I don't think. And then there was Louis van Gaal. They were complaining about the football, and he got sacked just after winning the FA Cup in 2016. Mourinho's come in. He's won a couple of cups. He's won a League Cup, and he's won a Europa Cup. And last year he didn't win anything, but finished second. I think he finished second. And then in the end, he's having a remarkably poor season so far. Out of the cup, of course, the derby. Champions League booed off in midweek after a 0-0 against Valencia, and now 2-0 down and facing one of the most crucial half-time team talks of his entire career, spanning nearly 20 years as a manager. So plenty to chew the fat on there at Old Trafford, and we'll be back with full second half commentary. Could United come back from the dead? At the moment, Newcastle looking very comfortable and well worthy of their 2-goal advantage, and fair play to them. And we'll be getting post-match reaction from Rafa Benitez and Jose Mourinho at the full-time whistle. Right, back to earlier today and to Burnley, the game I was covering. My voice has recovered from it. As I said, I've been jousting with Darren Bentley, and I'll tell you what I've been tweeting about it, because there's one or two things that he said on Twitter to my actual brother that I did not like. But let's hear what Dyche had to say. And he's also there was also the De Potter incident where he dived, so it was a bit of embarrassment. Sean Dyche has plenty to say on that. But let's see what he also said about the broader sense of the game, and afterwards you'll get my reaction to it as well. So let's see what Sean Dyche had to say as he spoke to Robin Coward after Burnley's 1-1 draw with Huddersfield.
Sean, what were your overriding emotion after that performance?
Well, it's strange when you're pleased in the end to get a point, because at half-time against our side we had 3 golden chances, all fell for Vokesy. Brilliant header though, it must be said. He's had another header when you fancy him, point blank. He's got great power on him, straight at the keeper. And then he's gone for a volley. He's fouled, but we all know our story of penalties, so we know we won't get one. That's quite obvious now, I think. And that's another one today, which I think is a penalty. The lad, he's been pulling shirts all day, pushing and pulling, and gets away with it. That happens. Second half, credit to Huddersfield. They came out. They're obviously still fighting and playing. The main thing for me is 7 points out of 9. You know, that's not easy to do in the Premier League. So, you know, a lot of huff and puff second half. We lost our way a little bit, but like I say, I thought Huddersfield did better second half, and that put us on the back foot.
Another assist for Goodmanson. You can see confidence oozing through him. He's been vital for you, hasn't he?
Yeah, he played well. Patches, particularly first half, he was very effective. And like I say, you know, he stuck at it second half. You know, most of the lads, to be fair, second half, without playing well at all, you know, we've kept them down to minimal chances, so that's pleasing in a way. You know, on a day when, or a second half, when you're not playing well at all, and they are, then you've got to stay in the game, which we did do. Even the goal, I mean, we never got anything from the officials today. Ben Mees pushed in the back, he goes for the header, he's pushed in the back. Tough one to take because it's close, it's marginal, but they're decisions you need. But no, overall, on the balance of play, them women, you're definitely fair because they had a very strong second half. We had a strong first half, particularly chance-wise.
I know you hate being kind of held up as the spokesman for diving, but it was a good decision, wasn't it, by the referee today?
There's no point to my words. No one wants to stop it. It's embarrassing. That's embarrassing today. But he gets a yellow card, and guess what? No one will sanction anything now because he got a yellow card. It's embarrassing. I don't know where the game's going. If children watch it, my lad plays, you know. I see them all diving. So everyone seems to think it's acceptable. I must be the only one, it seems, who doesn't think it's acceptable. But hey-ho, I'll keep trying to bang the drum, but I don't think it'll affect much.
David Wagner was a bit upset with the challenge from Sam on his defender, which left him, well, with a pretty bad nose. What was your view on that?
I didn't see any bad challenge. My view would be, though, is that the head injury?
Yeah, so a bit of an elbow, yeah.
All right, because, you know, the referee allowed them to go on the counter and nearly score a goal and then called it back. That's interesting, I would say. That's interesting officially.
And just finally, going into the international break with a bit of momentum, is that disappointing for you almost?
It is in the sense of 2 wins, you want to make it 3. We're all greedy in football, but it's not that easy. You know, whoever you're playing in the Premier League, they're fighting for different reasons, of course. We've taken 7 out of 9 points, and you know that's not easy in the Premier League anyway, but it's certainly not easy with our game schedule and the amount of challenges we've had in the beginning part of the season. So, you know, overall, you take that, of course, but like I say, you're always hungry and greedy for more, and after first half's performance today, with the chance we created, I fancied us to take all 3, but like I say, credit to Huddersfield, they played very well second half, without opening us up too many times, but we got another point on the board.
Well, here's my reaction to it. There are some elements that I do agree with. I thought Dupox's dive, I do agree, was very over the top, and I thought he deserved a yellow card, although, you know, a lot of people think diving is acceptable. We don't condone it. Yes, Burnley should have had at least 2 penalties in the first half. I'm not sure now if, in the cold light of day, we should have had 3. But I don't agree with the fact that we've won a point and take 7 out of 9 I don't think it's acceptable against the Huddersfield Town, and also the fact that we I don't know, I thought the referee was poor in some respects. The Proctor dive was the only thing he got right all day, but I'm not going to defend Deitch. That was a game that should have been winnable. You know, he's saying it's not easy to get points in the Premier League. Of course it's not easy, right? We get that, right? You know, and then you go to the excuse, the European games. The European games have been gone for about a month now, Sean. Now stop going on about the European stuff. We've been out of Europe for over a month and a half now. Stop harping back to that. We should have done better. Second half we were shocking. Absolutely shocking. And you cannot defend that second half display. And I have to say, fair play to Huddersfield. They came out there, second half, they played magnificently well and possibly should have won the game. Should have won the game. If you take the refereeing decision out of the equation, they should have won the match. The second half was shocking. And then I had an exchange with Darren Bentley on Twitter. And it's been retweeted and liked several times. He says, no problem, another point on the 4. 3 games ago with a snatch at 7 hard-earned points. What, against 3 teams like Bournemouth, Huddersfield and Cardiff? You should be expecting 9 points, Darren Bentley! 9 points! And you'll be hearing this piece from me on Twitter. Absolutely for sure. You're a poor excuse of a media man. You need to have a sense of reality here. This is not good enough. Not good enough by half. And then he replies, everyone has off days. Well, we've had about 5 or 6 of them today, Darren, this season, Darren. And my reply was absolutely superb. If you haven't seen the reply on Twitter, I suggest you get on there now while you're listening to the second half of this. I said, Darren, you cannot defend the boys' second half. It was shocking. Dyche left it again late with substitutions, i.e. Vidra coming on in an 89th minute when he should have possibly come after 75, 76 minutes. You can try and I just said, look, I'm sorry, Darren, you can try and sugarcoat this and put a positive spin on it as much as you want. But in reality, and this is no disrespect to Huddersfield, who will very worth it for a point, possibly even 3. But in reality, a draw against Huddersfield is not good enough. Simple fact. And there we are. But there were some elements of the interview that I agree with Dyche, the Proctor incident, the possibility of a penalty, the missed chances that Vokes had in the first half. I accept them, but I don't accept that the fact that we got an hard-earned point. We nearly chucked that away. It wasn't hard-earned at all. We were lucky to get that point, and Huddersfield, in all due respect, should have had all 3. Come the end of it, if you take all the refereeing decisions and all the stuff out of it, it just doesn't. I'm really disappointed with Darren Bentley's reaction to that. I mean, yeah, I know he works for the football club. Yes, I know he's the media man. Yes, I know he's this, that, the other. But come on, wake up and smell the coffee. And that all goes down to the board, right? It's not just Sean Dyche. It's not just Darren Bentley. There's Mike Garlick to consider as well. You know, he's like Mike Ashley, very mingy, very Scrooge-like. We needed key players in key areas. We didn't get the finances to strengthen. He's undermined the manager, and I'm saying this now, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to do another rant video tonight or tomorrow, whenever I get an opportunity. Maybe do it on Monday when I've calmed down a bit. But I want to just say this: get out, Mike Garlick, get out. You are not good enough to run Burnley Football Club. You have been mingy, you have been a Scrooge, you have been this, that and the other. You're as bad as Ed Woodward, you're as bad as Mike Ashley. You need to go now. You really do need to go now. Anyway, that was the... Well, there we are. Well, I just needed to say my piece, but Sean Dyche is fuming, and I'm fuming at what's been said by the football club. But anyway, we might have a much more bigger issue on our hands tonight. Is Mourinho's job under threat? Well, he's got 45 minutes to do it. Can he save his team? Let's get back to Old Trafford for the second half and join CW. All yours.
Thank you. We're already underway. We're about 30 seconds in, but we haven't really missed much as Manchester United, well, we're in the last chance saloon, really, I suppose, for Manchester United. Can you guess the substitution? Or should I say, can you guess who's come on? Scott McTominay, who's come off, so he's changed positions and now has come off completely. And Marouane Fellaini is on, so that means that 2 midfield players are effectively being put ahead of Lindelof, who cost a lot of money. Probably the reason why Manchester United are in the position they are, because they spend a lot of money on players and then they don't use them. But there you go. There's Newcastle just doing a bit of defending at the moment as John Joe Shelby has lumped the ball a long way forward. Just looking for any other substitutions perhaps, but no, it is just Marouane Fellaini for McTominay. I really don't know how they're going to change their formation now, because they've got Mata and Fellaini on. So what are they going, 3-5-2 perhaps? I don't know what the shape will look like, but we'll manage nonetheless as they're launching a long ball forward. An opportunity perhaps for Martial. No, he's just not quite quick enough to get ahead of Dubravka, who took a bit of a boot to the stomach, but not too bad. There's a long ping ball from Pogba, flicked on by Lukaku, and Dubravka just stretching, just gets there ahead of Anthony Martial. I say he took a boot to the stomach. It was more of a graze, really, but nonetheless, it's still enough to take the stuffing out of you sometimes. As Dubravka lumps it long. He actually got a free kick for that, so he takes a free kick, goes long, looking for Diame. Pogba wins it, and is trying to play it inside to Lukaku, who was running the opposite direction. And now Newcastle have the ball back on the halfway line. Newcastle are taking the goal to the right now, whereas Manchester United are taking the goal to our left. Newcastle shooting towards their fans in that corner. This ball's gone all the way back to David De Gea. lumps it long. So we're going 3-4-3 is the listed formation at the moment, but we shall see if that is the actual shape. It's just a guess, but it's currently being listed as 3-4-3 as Newcastle United remain unchanged from the first half. Which I'll go through those teams quickly when we have a break in play. Matic just inside the Newcastle half. Here's Pogba switching out to the far side now. Mata playing it back. Smalling, who's pushing a long way up. Here's Luke Shaw, who, if he's part of the back three, is pushing a long way up on this left-hand side. Plays it inside to Fellaini. Fellaini trying to get it back to him, but he's being followed all the way by Diame, and Diame does win the ball back. He's going to keep it in play. He does. Well, I say he does. He proceeds to lump it out for a throw as opposed to a goal kick. Matic is going to take quickly on this near side. Throws it to Pogba. Pogba lumping it long into the box, but it's headed away by Lascelles. Shelby trying to play an outlet towards Perez. Can't quite find him. Kennedy's now chasing down Pogba on that far side as he picked up the ball. Tries to play it back to Smalling. And it's Muto got a toe on it. And he went out for a throw, which is quickly taken as Manchester United get back underway quickly. Just on this far side with Mata, who's currently playing as the right midfielder. Gives it to Rashford. Now Mata back on the byline, plays it back inside. An opportunity perhaps for Anthony Martial. Now Rashford just inside the 6-yard box. Runs out of the room though, and the ball is hoofed away by Newcastle United. Ball's gone all the way back to David De Gea. Here's Pogba. Now Luke Shaw just on this near side. Shaw plays it to Fellaini. Gives it back to Shaw, who drives into the middle of the park. Shaw still going, looking for Marcus Rashford on that far side. Here's Young. Tries to cross it, but it's dealt with by Newcastle. But it's gone out for a corner on that far side. Danger's not done yet for Newcastle as we hit the 50-minute mark. Ashley Young will deliver. Opportunity towards the penalty spots, but it's straight over the bar. Good opportunity for that for Manchester United, but they couldn't make it tell. Second real major chance that was haven't really troubled Dubravka that much in terms of with shots. They kept him active in terms of the long balls over the top and plenty of crosses for him to deal with, but in terms of forcing him into a save, I think Manchester United have only had two shots on target all match. There's John Joe Show, he's got a free kick on the far side touchline, looking to ping it in towards the penalty spots. Perez has won that header. It's going to fall out to Matt Ritchie on the edge of the box, and he scuffed his shot so badly that David De Gea just casually plucked it out of the air. Plays it quickly though, and a quick 1-2 between Matic and Fellaini, getting Manchester United going. Here's Ashley Young on the far side, looking to play it in towards Fellaini, but he can't quite control it. And now Diame has the ball, playing it out wide to that far side. There's one back by Ashley Young, now into the Newcastle half. Here's Rashford, bringing it inside to the middle of the park, looking for Paul Pogba on the edge of the box. Thought about a shot, didn't shoot, played it out wide to Luke Shaw, plays a low cross in and it missed, and both Lukaku and Fellaini looking at each other thinking that they were both going to go for it, and it went all the way through. Now Newcastle have the ball back. So they have the ball back. They give it straight back to Manchester United. And, well, they're making a real mess of keeping the ball, but they're just about pull it off as they were being closed down. Now Pogba plays it out wide to this near side of Martial, heading towards the byline, getting to the byline, driving into the box, playing a ball into the box with Lukaku, falling out to Mata on the edge of the box, left-footed strike, and it's gone wide. And Mata claiming a corner from that. Let's have a look. Tell you what, it was a good hit. I don't think there's any contact, though, from the Newcastle defender. No, No contact, so not a corner. Unfortunately, one. As much as you want to protest. There's Mourinho in discussion with the fourth official about wanting a corner. I don't know how Mourinho's in a position to say that he saw that nick off the defender that doesn't exist. We have a stoppage in play at the moment as Manchester United fans. United fans making a lot of noise. I say United fans, Manchester United fans making a lot of noise. Trying to rally their side. United are the team for me. Being slammed by both sets of fans. Obviously, that song can apply to both. Perhaps Man U fans should say something that's exclusively towards them, like perhaps 20 times. That would make more sense, but there you go. Matt Ritchie was receiving treatment. He's left the field of play and we're back underway. The ball's gone all the way back to Dubravka. Knocks it long. Matt Ritchie has re-entered play now as well. Jonjo Shelvey picks up the second ball from that long punt forward by Dubravka. Plays it out wide to Ritchie, who's back on his feet again, whips it across, has taken a deflection, and it goes straight to David De Gea, who throws it like an outfielder to Juan Mata, who turns. He's got Rashford on his bike, although Rashford's been forced backwards into his own half by Minkio. And Rashford manages to find Fellaini. Fellaini plays it forward to Lukaku. Lukaku turning, still going. He's got it to Martial, who's on the byline on this near side. Tries to whip it towards the back stick, towards Marouane Fellaini, who's waiting. But he can't quite control it, and it's gone out for a throw on that far side to Manchester United. Ashley Young getting us back underway quickly. Here's Pogba looking to whip it across. Whips it towards the front stick. Oh, and it's just glanced over the bar by Marcus Rashford. He's had a couple of good chances as Rashford, but hasn't been able to make it stick. Still no shot on target so far for Manchester United. It's a great cross by Pogba. I mean, to be fair to Rashford, he's a little bit on the short side to be reaching that, but still, nonetheless, you would have hoped that he would be able to glance at it better. Mourinho getting more and more aggravated as every passing minute goes by. 55.5 minutes gone. Still, Newcastle lead by 2-0. Anthony Taylor's in discussion with Newcastle captain Lascelles. I think he's just mentioning to Lascelles, obviously, who's the captain for Newcastle, to get Dubravka to hurry up because he's taking his time with the goal kicks. The free kick's been given to Newcastle as Perez has hit the deck. Have a look here. Holding his back. Well, Matic. There's no real decisive camera angle on that one, but he contested for the ball for a header with Matic and down holding his back. So a flying knee, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, it's a free kick to Newcastle United. The referee saw it, saw something in there. Newcastle United fans now making all the noise again. A lot of them shirtless, which can burn the eyes on occasion to some larger fan size. Anyway, it's whipped in by Shelvey towards the back stick and kept in by Fernandez, is it? Lukaku has pushed his man over. And whether that free kick's been given or it's a throw to Newcastle, we should see. But he did kind of push his man over, and it did come off. It did actually come off the Newcastle player, but Lukaku did kind of push him over, so arguably should be a free kick. But a throw. Oh, it is a free kick. He has given the free kick. Goodness. Anthony Taylor seeing what the cameraman sees, and they've played it short to Jonjo Shelvey on the edge of the box. Shelvey from distance, and he's curled it wide. Oh, wait, what? The referee has booked Matt Ritchie for taking the free kick quickly. So Newcastle are going to have a second go at that. Wow. I was just praising you, Anthony Taylor, for seeing stuff which, you know, the cameras were picking up. And then well, Newcastle were going to have a second crack at this free kick, but Matt Ritchie has just picked up the most pointless yellow card I've ever seen. Anyway, free kick on that far side, near the corner flag. Whips it in towards the middle of the 6-yard box, headed away easily by Smalling. Goes all the way back to Dubravka. Dubravka then lumps it long, looking for Kennedy. Ashley gets his head on it. Kennedy gets it back to Perez. Here's Perez playing it back. Now Jonjo Shelvey, just inside the United half. Turns smartly, gets it back in towards Perez. Muto. It's just on that far side at the moment. Although Manchester United have won the ball back and then immediately looking to play it long towards Lukaku, headed away by Lascelles. And now Newcastle, they've won the ball back on the edge of the United box, and it's 4-on-4. A chance here perhaps for Perez. Now Kennedy, oh, left-footed strike over the bar. Mourinho is absolutely livid right now. It's just a simple header went on the edge of the United box, went straight to a Newcastle player. Kennedy Neo's got free run out of the defence, and his shot didn't go too far over the bar. It's still 2-0 to Newcastle. I'm getting this feeling that Newcastle are failing to kill this game off. At 3-0, the game's dead. I don't think Manchester United would have any momentum to come back with. But at 2-0, if they get a goal, before the 90th minute, that makes that last, Fergie time a real thing. As Manchester United looking to build from the back here. As I said, they're just passing around in their own half. Here's Matic bringing it over the halfway line now as they finally look to bring the ball forward. Here's Martial on this near side touchline, bringing it inside. Matic now looking to dink it towards the back stick, towards Rashford, but he can't direct the header to a teammate, and Dubravka comes out and plucks it out the air. It's a lovely ball from Matic. Might have been Martial actually, I couldn't tell via the pixels. Curse my internet. Long ball forward by Dubravka. Flicked on by Ritchie, but that's only going to go straight to David De Gea as we hit the hour mark. Manchester United with only one substitution left. One last roll of the dice for Jose Mourinho. The free kick's awarded to Manchester United on the halfway line. Just in, well, I say on the halfway line, it's just. We're literally talking inches inside the Newcastle half on that far side. And they switch the play to Matic, who sat on the halfway line. Matic bringing it forward. Heading towards the byline, getting it to Luke Shaw. I'm just curious as to whether Matic is actually playing centre-back or not. Curious. Anyway, here's Martial receiving it off Luke Shaw. The ball's won back by Newcastle as Jonjo Shelvey gets a toe on it. Gets it forward to Muto. Heading up this near side touchline. Running out of space. He's run it off for a throw. Just on the halfway line, which United take quickly. Manchester United take quickly. I can't say the word United. It's really annoying. Because it could apply to both sides. God damn it. Manchester United looking to bring it forward. Mata battling away. Can't keep it in play though on that far side as it goes out for a throw to Newcastle. Jonjo Shelvey slow to his feet. Took a bit of a beating off that challenge. Firm but fair, that one. Battling with Romelu Lukaku. Oh no, he got run into by Diame, his teammate, which is like running into a brick wall. That would take the wind out of your sails if we're looking at Mike Ashley, who's in a suit. That's all I can comment on him. It's Paul Pogba bringing it in from the centre circle, whipping a ball in towards the 6-yard box, punched away by Dubravka. Danger not over yet though as Manchester United get the ball back. Here's Smalling. Matic does look like he's playing centre-back. He sold his teammate short there with that one. I think it was Martial he sold short. And now an opportunity perhaps for Newcastle as they're breaking here. And that's another free kick where a player's been hacked down to prevent a fast break attempt. It was Yedlin breaking away there. Went steaming off towards the centre circle and got hacked down. I think it was it Paul Pogba? Let's have a look. Yeah, it was a trip by Paul Pogba. I say a trip, he caught him right on the Achilles. Goodness me, if a stud went in there, that would have been painful as anything. Paul Pogba picks up his first booking of the season. He pitched long enough in a lot of those games to pick up a booking because of Mourinho's antics, but there you go. As Yedlin, well, yeah, he probably did feel the effects of a stud going in there, as he is now back on his feet. It's free kick taken by Shelvey towards the far side byline, and Lascelles just can't jump high enough to direct that to a teammate. A lot of confusion and uncertainty as we're seeing Alexis Sanchez warming up on the sideline. Could he be the man to come on and rescue Mourinho, his very expensive signing in terms of wages at least? Manchester United looking to come forward. Here's Fellaini in the centre of the park, playing it out wide to Rashford, heading towards the byline, but it's won back by Manquillo. Tries to lump it forward, but only goes as far as Juan Mata. Mata heading to the byline, looking to whip it in towards the back stick, but it's got too much on it and it's gone out for a goal kick. They're trying, United, don't get me wrong, but there's just no end product. When it comes to the final ball or the finish, it's really... You can see the looks on the Manchester United fans. Just a look of despair. And Alexis Sanchez looks like he is coming on as he's stripped off his training gear. So Sanchez, the man who hasn't really done anything at Manchester United, the one who's probably the most under pressure in terms of player value, apart from Pogba, of course, is going to come on as the last substitute. Who on earth is he going to come on for, though, is the question. Rashford. My money's on Rashford. I get the feeling that Mourinho is going to take off the young Englishman because he's had plenty of chances, Rashford, as United are just playing it around on the halfway line. He's had plenty of chances tonight. He just hasn't had the rub of the green. Here's Matic. Matic definitely looks like he's playing centre-back. So Matic has gone to centre-back alongside Chris Smalling. And Pogba, Mata, and I don't know who the third. It may have gone to 4-4-2. I'm not really sure. Again, the shape isn't really clear. So Luke Shaw picks it up on this near side touchline, looking for Martial, who's ahead of him, up against John Joe Shelvey. Martial checks back onto his right foot, whips in across towards the 6-yard box. Again, Dubravka comes out, catches it with ease. 65 minutes gone. Still Newcastle United lead by 2-0. Alexis Sanchez is waiting to come on the pitch. Who for? My money's on Rashford. Dubravka taking his time to goal kick. Oh, I tell you what, he's absolutely scuffed that, but it's gone straight to Modiame in the centre circle. Maybe it was deliberate, a deliberate scuff, as you do. Modiame looking to chip it forward towards Kennedy. Kennedy up against Ashley Young. And he checks back inside onto his left foot, gets it to Shelvey in the middle of the park. Now he's got it to Ritchie on the byline on this near side. Ritchie up against Luke Shaw, whips in towards the back stick, but David De Gea quick off his line and plucks that one out of the sky. Quickly lumps the ball forward towards Lukaku. Can't win the first header, but they pick up the second ball with Pogba. And now it's Rashford who's just run off the pitch. And that might well be his last act. It is his last act. It's been that kind of a day for Marcus Rashford, as he is the man who makes way for Alexis Sanchez. Doesn't even look at Mourinho, he just heads straight to the bench. Says a lot, really. I don't think Mourinho made much effort to go over to Rashford, to be honest. Mourinho's whinging about something else as well. I'm not particularly sure. Oh, he's whinging about the Newcastle coaching staff giving out drinks bottles. Oh wait, no, it's because Kennedy's on the ground. That's probably what he's whinging about. Why can he whinge? These players injured. You know the physios have to do their job, Jose, don't you? Cheeky dig, but there you go. As it looks like there's a substitution being ready here. That's I think it's Jake Murphy. Is it Murphy? Why do I think it's Jake Murphy? I'm sure. Yeah, it is Murphy. I don't know which one. There's two of them. One of them still plays for. I think one of them plays for Cardiff, because there was two of them both playing at Norwich. But Murphy's going to come on, I think. Who for? We shall see. It could be Kennedy because he's currently still down injured. Kennedy, the goal scorer, scored the first goal of the game in the first 7 minutes, only for Muto to double that tally 2 minutes later. And what was a shell-shocking first 10 minutes by Newcastle. And it is going to be Kennedy to leave the field. So Kennedy played a big part in tonight, but he's going to leave the field probably with a hamstring issue. But he's absolutely run his socks off all game as Manchester United having to defend straight away as Newcastle trying to get the ball forward, but it's one back, although they've cleared it straight to John Joe Shelvey on the edge of the box. Shelvey thought about a shot, left footed strike, played in, Muto, opportunity for Matt Ritchie on his left foot, has a shot but it's blocked and then cleared away as far as Pogba near the byline, who then lumps it up the field towards, well, he looked for Lukaku. Lascelles won the header. Now Mo Diame is battling with Martial. Martial smartly switches to play to the opposite flank with Ashley Young advancing up it. Now Alexis Sanchez gets his first touch of the ball on that far side touchline, brings it inside to Martial. It's completely out of position, Martial, playing it out wide. The player goes down in the box. Mo Diame saying he didn't touch him. Yellow card brandished for Diame. There was a little bit of a trip. I say a player went down in the box. The foul started outside the box and he flopped into the box. So free kick rightly given. Second booking of the season for Mo Diame, and a free kick in a promising position. Now this is what I'm talking about. They got a free kick, edged the area, just to the right of goal. Manchester United score from this. It is going to be a long 20 minutes for Newcastle United. They get a goal here. The complexion of the game changes completely. Alexis Sanchez is the man standing over the ball wearing that number 7 shirt. If you wear number 7, you've got to be good at free kicks. It's a mandatory requirement when you're at Manchester United anyway. Here we go then. Sanchez doesn't take it though. Instead, it's someone else. It's Juan Mata. Smashes it in left-footed, caught everyone off guard, and as I said, complexion of the game changed. It's Manchester United 1, Newcastle 2, and the game is on again. Juan Mata. Tell you what, Alexis Sanchez looked certain to hit that, but it was Mata, left-footed strike, bottom right-hand corner. Dubravka just can't get to it. And Newcastle United pay for that clumsy foul on the edge of the box. And it's game on. If Jose Mourinho is going to keep his job, it's going to be in this next 20 minutes. So the substitute, obviously, Mourinho put him on. 70 minutes gone. Man United 1, Newcastle United 2. Throw to Newcastle on that far side. Manchester United fans making a hell of a lot of noise now. They know what's up. Newcastle United winning a second throw on that far side touchline near the corner flag. Long throw in towards the byline, looking for Muto, who's being held. Tried to flick it into the 6-yard area towards Ritchie, but David De Gea again comes flying off his line, plucks that one out, rolls it immediately out to Pogba, who tries to get a counter-attack going, chips into Marouane Fellaini, who's in the centre circle, who plays it out wide to this near side of Anthony Martial. United building up ahead of steam, plays it out wide to Luke Shaw, but he put too much on it and Shaw couldn't quite reach it. It's gone out for a goal kick. Manchester United have come alive, they've got a pulse. We're just looking at that goal again from Mata. He whipped it left-footed wonderfully. It's a great free kick. Dubravka lumps it long from the goal kick. After using up as much of the clock as possible, they're going to be doing a lot of that for the next, well, as I said, you've got about 20 minutes. I say about. The Old Trafford added time comes into play, of course. And Marouane Fellaini is on the pitch. Mourinho's got all his cards out. There's a throw to Newcastle on the halfway line, and they tried to throw it long towards Perez, but it's gone straight through to David De Gea. Rafa Benitez looking on, sat in his seat in the dugout, wondering how to proceed with the rest of this second half. His team were comfortably in front. There's Martial heading towards the byline on this near side. Manages to somehow keep that in play. Gets it back to Marouane Fellaini. Now Luke Shaw. Shaw just playing it back inside to Pogba. Pogba gets it into Fellaini. Fellaini turning. Playing it out wide to Shaw again on the touchline. Martial trying to flick it round the corner to Fellaini. But Fellaini's not the quickest of people. It's lumped back up the field by Lascelles. And that's a foul by Martial on Matt Ritchie, who was about to boot the ball up the field but got pushed over in the process. It's a really intriguing encounter now, as Newcastle aren't going to be in the mood to do anything quickly. This is a free kick. Just inside Newcastle half. They're battling just up this near side touchline. Fellaini winning the header and then it rebounding off a Newcastle player for a throw just on the halfway line. Fellaini again, playing it back to his centre-backs. I say centre-backs, that's Matic, not a centre-back by trade. Now Mata, the goal scorer for Manchester United. Back to Smalling. Shaw on this near side touchline. A lot of triangles being formed by Manchester United here. Luke Shaw, Pogba. Mata, Pogba trying to chip it back into the box. Headed down towards Juan Mata on the penalty spot. Swung to Lukaku. Fellaini! Saved by Dubravka. United, Manchester, I can't say United, it applies to both. Great one-touch stuff, and there's a chance from the corner, taken quickly, a shot by Fellaini again, saved by Dubravka. Manchester United piling it all on now against Newcastle. There's Pogba on the edge of the box, thinking about a shot, playing it to Mata, Mata chipping it back in. Manchester United pouring men forward, with Martial winning their header, bicycle kick by Pogba, and Dubravka gets his hands on it and keeps it on the ground. Goodness me. Flipping cameraman was cutting to Newcastle United players as the corner was taken quickly. I tell you what, it wasn't Fellaini, in fact, it was Martial. It was Chris Smalling, sorry, he was lurking behind, he was in front of Fellaini, you couldn't flip and see him, and forced an incredible save out of Dubravka. And wow, what a save. Dubravka's up there for man of the match with me right now, along with Lascelles. Manchester United bringing it into the Newcastle half again. Here's Martial, 75 minutes gone. Newcastle 2, Manchester United 1. 15 minutes left of this intriguing encounter. Switch to the far side now. Man Mata. Alexis Sanchez in the middle of the park. 1-2-0 Pogba plays it into Mata. Mata gets it out wide to Martial. On this near side byline. Plays it back to Luke Shaw. Shaw looking for the cross towards the penalty spot. Blocked. It's going to come back again, this time to Martial again, looking for the cross, flicks it inside to Pogba. Pogba backheels it nonchalantly to Martial. There's a shot, and it's in! It's level! It's Anthony Martial on the stroke of the 75th minute. It's all level. A wonderful backheel by Pogba and a first-time strike by Martial into the bottom left-hand corner of the Newcastle net. And it's all square. We're level again. 15 minutes left to go. Manchester United piling on the pressure like days of old. Flicked inside by Martial. Pogba then backheels it mid-flight into the path of Martial, who cut back inside. Immediately, first touch, smashes it. Bottom left-hand corner of Dubravka's net. And all of a sudden, Manchester United, they're just on song right now. Attacking-wise, they're just piling it on as Newcastle United looking to immediately reply. They've got themselves a corner at the opposite end as Murphy gets a corner. Wow. Both teams scoring both their goals in the space of 5 minutes. Newcastle scoring both theirs in the first 10. Manchester United scoring both theirs around the 70th to 75th minute mark. And Old Trafford is now rocking. Whipped in from the far side. Oh, an opportunity for Newcastle. It's flapping around in the middle of the 6-yard box, and eventually it's hacked away. Goodness me, that could have been 3-2 straight away. Newcastle United just couldn't get it in the back of the net as Pogba headed the ball away. And now Murphy on that far side for Newcastle, looking to try and get the ball in the box. He's pulled his man down, and it's a free kick to Manchester United. Wow, tempo has just stepped up a notch. It was Mo Diame with the initial header, saved by De Gea. Then Lukaku's throwing himself at it as it deflected off Marouane Fellaini the second go. Goodness me, almost an acro-bicycle knee from Lukaku to keep that from going in. I'm going to join Mourinho in having a drink of water because I'm losing voice as the goal scorer for Newcastle United. Muto leaves the field, and it's going to be Christian Atsu who joins the fray. Rafa Benitez, well, they were in a very comfortable position for the majority of the game, and now it's all back to square one. Goodness me, what's everyone thinking at the moment? I must admit, it didn't look like it was going to be Manchester United's day, and it could have been the final nail on the coffin for Mourinho. Now all of a sudden Manchester United are looking to win. However, Newcastle have got a second wind here. Here's Kennedy bringing the ball forward, looking for Christian Atsu, fresh off the bench. That pass has got a bit much on it, but Atsu's kept it on, looking to whip in a deep cross towards the back stick. Kennedy can't quite win it, and Ashley Young missed it as well. Here's Murphy near the corner flag on the far side, looking to whip it in, front stick. Scuffed away by Smalling. He's gone out for a corner to Newcastle. Newcastle now on the front foot all of a sudden. They've conceded those 2 goals and have woken up again. Old Trafford is still rocking. They're singing Jose Mourinho's name as well. A lot of fan support for the man. They obviously feel the same way, that the board hasn't backed him enough, which depends on how you look at it, I suppose. Corner on the far side for Newcastle, whipped in towards the penalty spot, towards Modiame again. It's bouncing around in the middle again dangerously, but Martial this time is the man to hack it away. And now Paul Pogba gets it forward to Alexis Sanchez. Now with Martial, he's one-on-one with the defender, tries to cut inside, play it inside to Pogba. He's got support now, played far wide. They've just overplayed it a little bit, but Alexis Sanchez has managed to pick it up on the far side byline, tries to whip it in front post, headed away this time by Fernandez. Second ball won by Newcastle, and now Shelvey gets his foot on the ball, looking to play it forward towards Perez. Can't quite pick him out though. Rafa Benitez just trying to calm his team down as we enter the last 10 minutes of this absolutely enthralling game. It's been an absolute roller coaster, and I hope that the next 10 minutes is full of it as well. Ashley Young bringing it forward. Pogba switching the play to this near side with Luke Shaw. Just inside the Newcastle half. 2-2 is the score on the 80th minute. Matic, Smalling. Pogba just in the middle of the park at the moment, just inside the Newcastle half. Plays it inside to Alexis Sanchez, who's central for some reason. Trying to play it forward. Oh, he's tried to play it towards Martial, but he's put too much on it and it's gone out for a goal kick. And we're seeing a second replay of Martial's lovely finish. Tell you what, Pogba showing up all of a sudden. Lumped long by De Gea. Not De Gea, sorry, Dubravka. Easy mistake to make, I suppose. There's Matic battling with Christian Atsu, who's fresh off the bench, manages to get the ball back to David De Gea. It's definitely David De Gea. Plays it short to Pogba, who's dropped deep to pick it up. Bringing it towards the halfway line now, very central. Still going. Into the centre zone, into the Newcastle half. Still going, Pogba. Got support to his right, and Ashley Young uses Ashley Young. Ashley Young then looking to dink the ball into the middle of the park towards Fellaini. Fellaini doesn't quite win the first header, but the ball's fallen to Juan Mata on this near side touchline now. Here's Martial. Bringing it inside, central. Alexis Sanchez playing it back out to Luke Shaw on this near side touchline. Now Mata thinking about a left-footed cross. Does cross it left-footed. Goes all the way through everyone. Almost falls to Lukaku, but it's hacked away by Newcastle, and it's going to go out for a throw just inside the Manchester United half. Takes it quickly. De Gea's come all the way up to be an option, and he's got the ball. It's to Matic. Matic to Mata. Bringing it over the halfway line on this near side now. Sanchez. Plays it out wide, even further still to Shaw, who's hugging the touchline. Shaw 1-2s it with Martial and gets it back. Gets it back in to Martial. Lovely round the corner. Here's Luke Shaw. Can he cross the ball in? Low cross, but it's dealt with by Lascelles. It's only gone as far as Alexis Sanchez, who dinks it back in towards the front post. But Dubravka again comes flying out, catches the cross. Cracking goalkeeping from Dubravka. He's been really good in this game. I know he's had 2 goals put past him in the last 20 minutes or so. But he's commanded his area really well. Mourinho encouraging his really encouraging his team forward as Fellaini picks up the ball inside the Newcastle half. Gets to Lukaku. Lukaku plays it out wide to Martial. Martial heading towards the byline. Cuts inside. Tries to cross it towards the 6-yard box, but it's headed away by Lascelles. Ritchie can only get it. Well, he's managed to direct it to a teammate somehow. And now Christian Atsu driving over the halfway line central, looking for his teammate Perez. He's trying to get past his man, running past Matic. He's got to the byline, trying to cross it. Wins a corner on this near side. He's done really well, Perez. He was all on his own, really, in that situation. He's won a corner on this near side. Newcastle United fans making a hell of a lot of noise as well. They're not being quiet since they've gone level. They know how difficult this trip was going to be. Shelby makes his way over in front of those Newcastle fans, and a small contingent of Manchester United fans who sit just in front of them. It's a funny old corner, that one. Whipped in by Shelby towards the penalty spot. Mo Diarmé gets up there, heads it. Oh, goodness me! You know, Matic headed it back towards his own goal. He went just wide to the left of it. Perez had hit the deck for whatever reason. He slipped over, and Matic didn't get a call at all, or he completely misjudged the header, and it's gone out for a corner the opposite side. Shelby makes his way over there now as well. Actually, no, it's Matt Ritchie who's going to take this one. Whips in towards the penalty spot. Head almost won by Perez. And Martial now manages to get past two players, and now he's driving forward, looking for Alexis Sanchez. It's 2-on-4 at the moment. Sanchez looking to ping the ball back to Martial, but he can't quite do it. Christian Atsu is tracking all the way back, proceeds to hoof it over his own head, it's then flicked on by Diarmé into the centre circle as Manchester United pick up the ball again. Here's Martial playing it to the byline towards Mata. Mata getting it all the way to the back stick with Fellaini. Lukaku's descending upon it, can't quite get a shot off. It's come to the byline again as Manchester United again applying more pressure as much. I think it was Juan Mata fired in a really fast cross. It doesn't matter though because it's offside. Goodness me, I'm struggling to keep up here. Pace is so frenetic, it's incredible. Mata was so far offside you could park both the Newcastle and Manchester United buses in that gap. Goodness me. So 5 minutes to go as we hit the 85th minute. It's Manchester United 2, Newcastle United 2 at Old Trafford. It's been an incredible match so far. Man United fighting back from 2-0 down after they conceded 2 early goals from Kennedy and Muto. Find themselves in a promising position, but they've got 4 minutes now plus stoppage time, which I'm sure will be a lot as they're playing it around at the back at the moment, looking for an opening as Ashley Young pings it long towards Fellaini, but it's dealt with by Lascelles. Only as far as Luke Shaw though on this near side touchline. Gets it to Martial. Martial playing inside to Pogba. Pogba gets it inside to Sanchez. Sanchez trying to whip across the ground, but it hasn't found anyone but a Newcastle player. It's Christian Atsu bringing the ball forward. It's 4-on-4. And they played the wrong pass completely, Newcastle. And now Matic is bringing the ball forward. Matic pinging it out wide to Alexis Sanchez on the far side. Heading towards the byline. He's up against Manquillo. Chips it in towards the front post. Dubravka, though, comes out and claims it. There's both his hands on it. Lukaku is absolutely livid for whatever reason. I think he wanted to cross a bit closer to him. And Dubravka now is just going to take his time with it, put the ball on the ground. He's casually bringing it forward just outside his own box until he's closed down by Alexis Sanchez. He's going to lump this ball long now. Obviously looking for Christian Atsu, sorry. Can't quite find him as Manchester United again pick up the second ball. Manchester United trying to build up an attack here. Now, just as my picture fails, thank you very much. Really helpful that. As we enter the last 5 minutes. Oh, don't lose it at crunch time. It's really not what I need. Here we go. We've got the picture back. We're alive. As the last substitution of the game is going to take place, as Perez is going to make way for Joselu. Perez has run and run and run all night for Newcastle. Get some fresh legs on the pitch. Joselu can cause problems in attack, can Joselu, so he's definitely a man to keep an eye on. So anything can happen. Thrown in by Newcastle towards Christian Atsu, who's managed to get it to a teammate. Atsu's got it back. He's on this near side byline. He's got Richie with him, but he can't find him with that pass. Lumped down the touchline. It's picked up again by Newcastle. Here's Atsu, who's hit the deck. Referee says no free kick. As Manchester United look to try and get out of this tight situation. Doing it all right with some quick one-touch passing. Pogba trying to get it to Martial. Martial, though, is forced back to Luke Shaw. Shaw gets it out to Alexis Sanchez. Here's Pogba on this near side touchline, pinging the ball to the opposite flank, where Ashley Young is waiting. First touch a little heavy, but manages to pick it up, heading towards the byline. He's got Lukaku in front of him, gets it to Lukaku. Lukaku battling, he'd want to be in a more central position rather than on the wing. Whipped in by Ashley Young. Dubravka comes out again, punches this time. Can't quite catch that one. Dubravka's been fantastic as Shelvey kicks the ball at Luke Shaw and it goes out for a Newcastle throw. As we enter the last minute, Dubravka did really well. He somehow managed to get his fist in between Marouane Fellaini and Lascelles' head to get that contact. Incredible. Quick throw taken. Pogba wins it back though, just inside. Middle of the park now, just about 30 yards out from goal. Sanchez whipping it out wide towards Lukaku, sorry. Lukaku looking for Pogba just inside the box. He hasn't got many options, being forced out wide. Ashley Young's on the overlap, whips it towards the back stick, towards Fellaini, and it's in! It wasn't Fellaini, it was Alexis Sanchez in the last minute, has buried it for Manchester United. Get out of jail card, played brilliantly. Can you believe this? Everyone was watching Marouane Fellaini and Alexis Sanchez flung himself at it before Fellaini could even get to it. And is Manchester United 3, Newcastle 0. Ashley Young fantastic on the overlap, whips the cross in first time towards the back stick and in front of Fellaini. Lascelles was there ready to jump to get ahead of his man, and then Alexis Sanchez jumped ahead of everyone to get his head on that. Dubravka can do absolutely nothing to stop that one into the bottom left-hand corner. There's 5 added minutes, so the drama's not over yet. But it is Manchester United 3, Newcastle 0. And Alexis Sanchez, another substitution, by the way, by Mourinho, has gone and got Jose Mourinho out of jail. The party is, well, I say it's underway. There's not really a party going on, but the atmosphere at Old Trafford has just gone up 10 notches. The roof was blown off the stadium. Incredible. Newcastle are going to feel so bad about themselves. They've led for so long, but United just found that extra gear. And Alexis Sanchez, a lot of talk about that signing and how well or how little he's done. Well, forget about all that at the moment, because he's just gone and probably got Manchester United all 3 points here tonight. Incredible. What a comeback. It's like the Manchester United of old we've seen this second half. The first half was awful for Manchester United, but this second half they have been absolutely superb, throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at Newcastle United. We've got about 4 minutes left to play though, as we have 5 indicated minutes. So drama's not done yet. As we've played the first of those 5 minutes, must stress it is a minimum of 5 minutes at a time, got to say. Manchester United, though, have won the ball back. Newcastle were trying to strike straight away, but now it's Alexis Sanchez running at the Newcastle United defence. All of a sudden, Newcastle, he's put too much on that pass towards Lukaku. However, might be kept in. It was just about kept in, was it? Yes, it was. Well, somehow kept in by a Manchester United player. I couldn't see who it was because it was so far away from the camera, and the cameraman's forgot where his zoom button is. There's Rafa Benitez. Well, who'd be a manager, eh? leading at Old Trafford for all of 70 minutes, and then within 20 minutes it's all gone up in smoke. He'll feel bitterly disappointed about what's happened in front of him so far today. Well, the first half was tremendous. Old Trafford in full voice. And as the ball goes long for Newcastle, but they lose it in the centre circle now. Manchester United looking for a fourth, perhaps. Here's Alexis Sanchez having a shot from distance. That was easy for Dubravka. I say it was easy, he dropped it. 93 minutes gone, we've got 2 more added minutes. All the onus on Newcastle now. Here's John Joe Shelby bringing the ball over the halfway line, pinging it long, looking for Matt Ritchie. Can't win the header though, as Luke Shaw jumped higher. Man of the match has gone to Paul Pogba by the sponsors. Who's your man of the match today? Put it in the comments. Hashtag CW man of the match, or CW's man of the match. There's Newcastle being forced all the way back to the goalkeeper Dubravka. We're into the last 90 seconds. My man of the match, well, it was going to Dubravka. I'd still put it to Dubravka, but I've got to say Pogba's come alive in the last 20 minutes. But I don't really know who to give it to. It's Pogba, as I mentioned him, wins the ball back in his own half, looking for a ball forward towards Alexis Sanchez. The Cells being forced to play it back to Dubravka. Dubravka's now got to take a touch past Alexis Sanchez and then lump it long. Goodness me, keeper of no man's land there. Last minute now of added time. Manchester United just got to keep composed. They don't want to concede a third goal. That would be dreadful. Newcastle pumping the ball forward, looking for Christian Atsu again. Matt Ritchie jumping up for that one as well, but they just can't get a foot on the ball for Newcastle. Manchester United just got to keep a foot on the ball. Pogba smartly plays it back to David De Gea, who's got loads of time. Lumps it long. Old Trafford in full voice. Fellaini in the centre circle, gives it to Pogba. Pogba calmly plays it out wide to Ashley Young on the far side. Young chips it over. The Newcastle player that was in front of him gets it to Sanchez. Sanchez running up the wing. They almost loses, manages to get it back inside to Lukaku. Lukaku shimmying past his defender Manquillo. Tries to have a shot, but Manquillo manages to slide himself at it. It's gone out for a corner. Mourinho still demanding more. He wants 2 people to go to the corner. So the short option to make sure time runs out. It was a lovely slide challenge by Fernandez, sorry. But we've had the 5 added minutes. Ryan Matt's gone over there. Ashley Young's actually now going to take the corner. Referee saying, come on, let's get on with this. They take it short. They're going to hold it in the corner. On the far side, they've given it to Fellaini to do that job. It's gone out for a goal kick. We're 30 seconds over that 5 minutes that were indicated. Any time now that full-time whistle is going to come along. Dubravka lumps it long. Man United fans begging for that full-time whistle. Here's Matt Ritchie. Luke Shaw's put it out for a throw deep in his own half. Won't give. Throws the ball away from the Newcastle players. And taking the throw quickly. They have taken the throw quickly. Shelby plays it back. The full-time whistle has gone. Get out of jail, Jose Mourinho. He's saved himself somehow. Somehow Manchester United managed to claw their way back from 2-0 down. It was all looking doom and gloom for the best part of 70 minutes. After 2 early goals from Kennedy and Muto put Newcastle 2-0 up, and they were in complete control in the first half. Second half, I don't know what Mourinho said at half time, but it damn well worked. The substitutions as well, all 3 of them causing problems. Fellaini almost got himself a goal, but Dubravka was superb throughout. But Juan Mata in the 70th minute, the early substitute for Eric Bailly, got their first goal. The second goal scored 6 minutes later by Anthony Martial after a wonderful build-up play between Pogba and himself. And then Alexis Sanchez in the 90th minute leaps higher than everyone else to bury a header for Manchester United. Gets Manchester United out of jail and may well have saved Jose Mourinho's job. Who would have thought it? Incredible scenes. A lot of people saying that there was no fight in Manchester United. This was all or nothing. He was heading for the sack after 10 minutes. But Manchester United, the old Manchester United we've seen today, quite clearly, where they throw the kitchen sink in for you know, they threw everything at it, including the kitchen sink. It was like the Manchester United of old, which is what United fans and Jose has been demanding for a long time. So can they build on this? We shall see. But full time at Old Trafford after an incredible, enthralling adventure that we've had for 90 minutes. It's Manchester United 3, Newcastle United 2. I'm off to having a tea. I'm going to leave you with the roundup with John Stittard. Thank you all for listening. Hope you all enjoyed my commentary today, and I'll see you all next weekend. Ta-ra.
Well, I don't think it'll be next weekend, Chris, because it's an international break, but certainly we'll be back in a couple of weeks.
I'll get my voice back then.
Okay, you go and have a lie down, Chris. Chris Whiteman there at Old Trafford, describing one of the matches of the season, and how lucky were Manchester United. They played like a team transformed at Old Trafford in the second half, and I've nicked it right at the end. He only gets good games, my colleague Chris. He really does. CW only gets brilliant games, and he got a brilliant one today. He thought it was going to be a down 0-0, far from it, but you just wonder, really, had Newcastle got that penalty at 2-0 up, would Manchester United have fought back? And I'm sure Rafa Benitez will be absolutely annoyed with Anthony Taylor, because to me that did look a stonewall penalty. It didn't get given. It allowed United to regroup and come back into it. We're going to hear from both managers before we leave you tonight. We're going to be on the air until about 10 to 8 tonight. Wow, one of the games of the season. It looked as if Mourinho's luck had run out in the first half. They were 2-0 down after 20 minutes and looked absolutely out of sorts. And then I don't know what was said in the half-time changing rooms. I wonder if Sir Alex Ferguson had a hand in it, maybe, because sometimes, well, maybe, or something was said there. Do you want to play for this club? Do you know that Manchester United means so much to everybody? It's the biggest club in the world with 500 million supporters around the world. People are looking up to you. They see you as role models. Something must have been said to that effect. To see Manchester United come back from the dead. Let's face it, they were dead and buried, 2-0 down at one point, and then to see the comeback. It's got to be one of the comebacks of all time, certainly in Premier League history. And well, it just absolutely boggles the mind. It really does. But well, you know, we were all, you know, we were all really, well, we all thought it was all going to go that way, but there we go. Right, anyway, Premier League. Brighton won 1-0 last night. You know about that. Burnley Huddersfield, we covered earlier, 1-1. Palace 0, Wolves 1. Leicester 1, Everton 2. Tottenham 1, Cardiff 0. Watford 0, AFC Bournemouth 4. That's another big result there. Watford, they were doing so well, beaten, and they were down to 10 men at one point. And Manchester United 3, Newcastle United 2. We'll also hear from David Wagner as well before we leave you as well, and get his thoughts on Burnley's on the game at Turf Moor we've been covering. So Manchester United, they were 11th at the start of play. They're now up to 8th place, above Watford and Leicester on 13 points. They're above Watford on goal difference. They do have the same points as Watford, but on goal difference. Everton now dropped down to 11th. Burnley, as I say, 12th place. Newcastle stay in 19th, and Fulham and Southampton among teams must be most relief. A bunch of supporters breathing at the moment, because it looked as if Newcastle were going to certainly leak one of those two teams out of the bottom three, but it wasn't to be. But you wonder if Rafa Benitez will feel very, very hard done by in terms of, should Newcastle have had a penalty when they were 2-0 ahead in that game. I'd like to get your thoughts on that decision. Was Anthony Taylor right not to give the penalty for handball, or was he wrong? I want people to know what's gone on. Newcastle fans, I want you to discuss this with me as well. But wow, it's been brilliant. Kai Whiteley, welcome aboard to the channel. We like new subscribers, and we'll welcome you. Remember, you can click the bell button, and just to make sure that you are that you get the content delivered to you. But wow, what a fight back. We'll try and get some reaction very, very shortly from Jose Mourinho, from Rafa Benitez. They've gone to a commercial break, the television coverage. So while we're waiting for the break to come back, let's hear from the other side of the coin. We played the Sean Dyche interview at half time, but let's hear what David Wagner had to say from our earlier match. You may have listened to 1-1 was the final score in that game. Burnley should have really been played a lot better, but if you take the refereeing decisions in the match out of context, then I think David Wagner side should have really won today. So let's hear what David Wagner had to say after the 1-1 draw with the Clarets this afternoon.
David, what's your overriding
Again with Robin
impression
Campbell.
after that 90 minutes?
Happy with the performance, very happy. I think we dominated the game. We played decent football, created opportunities, a lot of crosses. They had unbelievable, a lot of blocks as well, and at least we deserved a point. We usually have to win it. I think there is not a shadow of a doubt about it. Everybody who has seen the game has seen that we were by miles a better team, but we only have a point. This is what we have to accept. We came back after 1-0 down, what was good, and the performance was good again. So we looked very confident, very brave as well. We played football like we wanted to do, and I'm happy with the performance. Again, another very good performance. I know, again, no win, but the wins will come. I'm absolutely okay with this point, even if I know we should have had another 3 today, which we haven't. But there are 30 games to go. The season is still young. I know that we have everything to be competitive and that we have everything to stay up in this season as well. And for this we will fight and we will play like we've done today.
Is it just the finishing, do you think, that has denied you the 3 points today?
Yeah, of course, this was maybe then the little bit where we were not able to put the ball in the net, apart from this one situation. But if you've seen how Burnley defended with 11 players behind the ball, I think they had so many blocks, they put bodies on the line. I haven't seen it often that we played away from home and dominated opponent like we've done it today, but we only have 1 point. So at the end there were some further opportunities, yes, but how we played, this is where we are focused on, and this would not be different if we have won the game today, that we are focused on our performance, which was again a very good one.
You mentioned the word brave, especially your centre half scored the goal and then took quite a whack, and he stayed on. How is he?
Yeah, he doesn't look nice, to be totally honest. I've seen this challenge. I would never say opponent do something on purpose, but this was too dangerous, and there really is something more serious can happen. How it happened. So this is nothing what we want to see in football. This should not be on the grass situations with the elbow like that, and I'm very happy that Shindy looks more bad than it is the injury.
And just finally, it's the international break now. Is this difficult for you as a manager? Some of your players will be going off after a very good performance. You want to keep that momentum going?
No, this is something what I'm not able to influence, something I only have to accept, and hopefully everybody comes back healthy. And we play now since a longer period, since the last 3-4 weeks, on a very high level, good football without the perfect end product. And
that's David Wagner. I just want to take him up on one point. I think it was an accidental elbow by Sam Vokes, just to clear that one up. But they deserved 3 points on that game earlier today. But we're back at well, let's concentrate on Manchester United's throwing comeback. It looked as if, thanks to Kennedy and Muto, it looked as if Newcastle were going to get all 3 points, especially when Matic missed a real sitter to put them back in it at 2-0 down. But then the United comeback, it was on. Martial equalised. Mata pulled one back. Martial equalised, and then in the last minute, the winning goal from Alexis Sanchez, a terrific, fantastic finish, a great free kick. But at that point, should Newcastle have had a penalty just on the stroke of half-time when John Joe Shelby was appeared? John Joe Shelby's cross, and Ashley Young blatantly handled the ball. Did United get away with that? I have to be honest, I didn't think it. I think they should have had a penalty given against them. But, well, I don't think Jose Mourinho will care one jot when he does his interview in a second or two. But what a finish. It's been an absolute thrill a minute. And here is the Manchester United manager talking with Des Kelly.
Substitutions is the mentality. Is the desire, is the commitment. As I used to say, nobody is important. Only the club is important. This is not about me. This is not about the players. This is about the club. And in the second half, the players, they gave absolutely everything. Nothing more to give.
We saw the explosion of relief. We heard the explosion of relief from the fans, from everybody. It was just was it a case of confidence when that first Juan Mata free kick went in? It seemed to bring the crowd to life and the players.
I am 55 years old, and in spite of it is the first time that I see in football a man hunting. I am 55. I am mature. I can cope with it, and I can live with it. I think clearly some of the boys, in spite of they are not the man that is hunted, I think that they are not coping well with it. And the way they start the game was absolutely panicking. Every ball that was in our box, I thought even in some moments we could even score in our own goal. And it's not easy. It's not easy for them. For me, it's not easy too. But I think life is made of experiences, and some are new, and some are déjà vu. But this is new. But makes me, I think, not just a better manager, but makes me even a better person, because I understand things in the human nature nowadays, and in the industry where I work. I used to love it, and I still love it, but it's different. A lot of wickedness, too much wickedness in something that should be beautiful. And as I was saying, I cope with it, with some sadness, obviously, but I cope with it, and I survive. I'm mature, I'm a big boy, but clearly some of the boys, Marcus Rashford was sad on the pitch. Scott McTominay was scared on the pitch, and even all the players, they commit mistakes that are not normal. I think at half time we had a good conversation. We didn't promise to each other that we were going to win the match, because we cannot promise that. We promised to each other that we were going to give absolutely everything, without any fear, without any pressure, just the pressure of give everything. And of course they gave everything, and I don't want to say we were lucky, because we fought so much for that. I think the boys, they deserve, but even if the result ends with a 2-2, even if you don't score the last goal, the feeling would be a positive feeling, because as I was saying, nobody can promise to win matches, but a professional should promise to give everything, and the boys, they gave.
You mentioned your experience things before. There's been a lot of speculation about the players, whether they're playing for you, whether you're able to get them up for a game. Does that response out there today tell a different story?
I think is is a ridiculous talk because the players, they don't play for the manager. If the players play for the manager, they are not good professionals. Because one day they like the manager and they play for them, and the next day it comes a manager that they don't like and they don't play for him, but they still get the money. So I think it's a ridiculous talk. I don't think in BT you work better because you like your boss, and if a new boss comes and you don't like him, then you don't do your work professionally. It's not about that. It's not about that. And what I asked the players was exactly to give absolutely everything. Of course, we had some little tactical touches. Of course, we risk a lot. Of course, we went in different directions. We were trying to find the best way to play, and in the end, we won the match that I think we deserve to win. I think we deserve to win. I think the fans deserve to win. I think with 2-0 half time, with all the dynamic of the manhunting, I think they behaved amazingly well for the team. You know, I don't even like people to sing my name. I fought the team, and this is what the football club is, and Manchester United is a big football club.
Does it calm down all the talk and the speculation about your future now and come back in 2 weeks' time? We expect to see you here doing the job again.
You know, as a friend of mine was saying to me this morning, if tomorrow rains in London, it's my fault. You know, I go to London tonight. If tomorrow rains in London, it's my fault. You know, if there is some difficulty to have the agreement of the Brexit, is my fault. And I have to be ready for all of this. I think a lot of wickedness, and the clear manhunting that I think in football is too much. But as I was saying, is my life, is the life I love, is the life I work. Since I was a kid, I work for this, and I will love until my last day. So is one more experience in my life.
Maybe the manhunt will stop. Thanks, Jose.
Thank you.
Well, really did a long-winded interview there, but he seems like a very relieved man, judging by the body language. But yeah, I think a manhunt is the way he could sum it up. But I'm not sure Rafa Benitez will see it quite that way. I've got to be honest. I think if that penalty gets given at 2-0 before the break, and Newcastle were able to convert the penalty, should they have got that penalty, I would have to say, I'd like to ask, just quickly, before we'll hear from Rafa Benitez before the end and try and gauge a reaction from Rafa Benitez. We want to try and get both camps if we can before we leave you in around about 5 or 6 minutes' time. I'm sure he's going to be a very, very disappointed Newcastle manager. Mike Ashley was in the crowd and he must have been pleased seeing his team 2-0 up, but then I think that one decision changed the whole dynamics of the match. I think Newcastle should have had a penalty. I think Young handled definitely inside the penalty area. And again, I'm not doing this to belittle Manchester United in any way because it was a magnificent comeback. But if that penalty gets given and Newcastle scored that penalty, then we're looking at a different sort of ball game, and we're looking at a Mourinho sacking. As it happens, that bit of luck went United's way, and I have to say, not much has gone for them this season thus far. They've had some bad performances, they've had some bad luck as well. But having said all that, Newcastle, in my humble opinion, should have had a penalty. But Mourinho did look relaxed at the start. He threw a water into the TV cameraman's lens, and well, he was a very relieved man come the end, and the whole place was shaking, I can tell you. Chris will tell you that. He was commentating on the game, and it was just unbelievable. and he's had a commentator's dream today. I've had a good game as well to do. Huddersfield Burnley, disappointment for Burnley there. If only we had played with the same application as Manchester United played in the second half, we would have won that game today at Turf Moor. That's a given. We're still waiting to hear from Rafa Benitez. As soon as that interview comes along, we will bring it before we leave you tonight. But it's been a fantastic atmosphere. It's been a fantastic game. Newcastle certainly bossed the first half. They should have had a penalty. If that penalty gets given, that's I mean, providing the penalty's converted, of course. I mean, there's still a fair chance they'd miss it. But having said all that, if that penalty gets given and they score from that Newcastle, then it would have been game up for Mr. Mourinho. That is for sure, and we would have been talking really about a revolution. Really, that was going to be over. It looked as if Rafa's team were going to get all 3 points. We're still desperately waiting to hear from Rafa Benitez before we go, and hopefully Des Kelly will have pinched in for the television, and we can then eavesdrop on it for you as well. So let's hope. But it's a welcome 3 points from Mourinho. Remember, the international break is at large, and we will not be covering England till next week, and we won't be covering the European Nations League, because we think it's a too long-winded process. It's so complicated. If it had been normal qualifiers, then I would have had no objections doing the international stuff. But also, we need to have a break as well from the commentaries. We do these at least 3 games a week, every weekend, plus a few midweek games thrown in for good measure, and it is a very long-winded process to get the programmes running and up to speed for you guys to enjoy. I had one commenter actually during the second half saying, "Why do you bother?" I'll tell you why we bother, shall we? Because Chris, myself, Russ Vernon, we're all good. We're lovers of the beautiful game. We want to talk about it and describe it to you. And the reason why why we bother with the commentaries is because we've got over 500 subscribers who like what we do, enjoy what we do. There are going to be a few people that are going to come on here and absolutely knock it, but the majority of our subscribers love what we do. We enjoy it. We're live, and that's the beauty of live commentary, that we can bring it to you live and we enjoy it, and it's just absolutely superb. 500 subscribers, coming up to 550. We've had another couple today. A couple of United fans have enjoyed the coverage that we've given, and I hope we've done and I think Chris's commentary has done what has been a classic. And if you want to listen back again after the commentary, after we come off air in about 5 minutes or so, please do listen to it back, because I tell you what, it was an unbelievably good game. I am a little bit I've got to admit, I've been a little bit envious of Chris for this game, but he deserved his shot at this game, and he said it was going to be a 0-0. We actually thought these were 2 games that we picked were going to be done affairs, and I have to say the first one today, Burnley against Huddersfield, was a good game if you're looking at it from a neutral point of view, and Huddersfield did play some very good stuff in that match as well. So yeah, David Wagner will be disappointed he didn't get a point, didn't get 3 points, and I think he's got every right to feel that way, but I do take issue of him on the Schindler thing. I think it was accidental, and also I thought he was brave as well, also blocking the follow-up shot from Westwood that could have been going right into the net. But I have to say also Chris Cabinet and Anthony Taylor, 2 refereeing blunders that have cost certainly Burnley a victory today, and have cost Newcastle dearly as well with a handball decision. We're still desperately trying to get a reply from Rafa Benitez at the moment. It doesn't look as if we might hear from him at the moment. We're going to try and stick with you until we do hear from Rafa Benitez. But wow, it has been unbelievable. An unbelievable game, an unbelievable sequence of events, shall we say, that just conspired to make Manchester United's comeback that little bit more dramatic. It's been a dramatic day. Bournemouth winning, and it's just unbelievable. The reason I just honestly, I believe that if Burnley could play the sort of football that Manchester United could play, I know we're not superior to Manchester United in any way, shape or form, but we needed to be a lot more positive in the way that we played, and we could have had 3 points today against Huddersfield. Not being bitter, because Huddersfield played with the intensity I expected Burnley to play. But there will be questions asked of Dyche, that's it for sure, and I will be ranting about the club again tonight, because there are certain things that need to be said. Now I think I might be. Are we going to hear from Rafa Benitez? Are we going to hear from the other side? Well, Benitez is there. Are we going to hear from him, or are we going to be waiting another couple of minutes? Let's hope we're hearing from him now, because we are desperately running out of time here. It looks as if they're going to an advertising break, so I'm going to have to talk all sorts for 2 minutes now, which is not ideal. I've got a friend of mine, Karen Monk. I've just spoken to her whilst we were off air. She said, well, as escapes go, Man United just pulled off the greatest of escapes. And she replied to me, tell me about it, John, but you know, a draw's better than a loss. I feel so sorry for Mourinho. He's one of the best managers of all time. She thinks it's to do with the top brass, so it's Ed Woodward, I think. I think people do forget what Alex Ferguson was like. He was the first at United, and yeah, I think the fans do need to get behind the manager. I think there's a lot of big egos as well, as regards Manchester United. They are one of the biggest clubs in the world, and the reason why they are great. But I've got to say, absolutely anonymous, he's one of the most fair-minded Manchester United supporters you could ever wish to meet. He said, very lucky United, should have been a penalty, so he agrees with me at 2-0, but he's still happy that we won, but he believes that Jose is still a dead man walking. Yeah, well, it is that sort of way, really, isn't it? So as I say, we're waiting for Rafa Benitez to as I say, to come on and speak to us. It is very, very difficult at the moment to we are waiting to speak with him. I don't, and whilst I'm actually whilst we're actually during a break, it gives me an opportunity to. Darren Bentley actually replied to my tweet that I spoke about during the half-time interval. So while we're waiting for that, I want you to listen to this one carefully, peeps, because I think again he's out there trying to sugarcoat it, and I'm going to name and shame the guy. He's called Darren Bentley. He's the media manager of Burnley. I'll tell you his Twitter address. So what I'd like you to do is go and troll it, and because I don't think he's saying anything right about it. Now, there's also a couple of others as well. That have criticised. I said, right, this is what Darren Bentley said. We drew against them last season, and that worked out okay. John, 7 from 9 is not sugarcoating everything. It's a fact. 2 weeks now to reflect on a good month's work. Well, 2 poor performances does not reflect a good month's work. Sorry, Darren, it doesn't. And there's another tweet as well that I'll read out in a minute or two, because I want to name and shame this guy as well. But we've got, I think we've got a very disappointed Rafa Benitez now. He will be kicking himself, and he'll be cursing the fact that they should have had a penalty at 2-0. Here he is now talking with Des Kelly.
It must really hurt to come off the pitch with nothing. Yeah, for sure. I think that it was a great game. We did really well the first half, even the second half. We had 2 or 3 situations in counter-attack. We could have scored the third goal. Chances in the first half to score the third goal. And when you play against a very good team, it's not easy, because every substitution they were better and better, and they have to defend. And it's a pity to concede
the way that we conceded close to the end. The only thing I said to the players is that they did a great job. I was happy to have to manage situations a little bit better if we can, but to be fair, they were pushing and they have so many good players that was difficult.
And that free kick kind of changed the dynamic in the stadium. It brought the crowd into it. Suddenly the United players were actually getting passes to each other.
Yeah, when they have top class players, this thing can happen. They scored a great goal, and after, again, I would say, you put Fellaini, you put Alexis, so many good players on the bench that when they come, they make the difference.
It was an amazing start for you, tactically perfect, and so you took the game to them straight away.
Yeah, I said before that the team is doing well. The team is working so hard. They know what they have to do, but it's a pity that when you are 2-0 up, the chances that we had to score the third goal could make a big difference.
Really hard day for them. It's almost like the situation.
Apologies for that. Well, they only caught the snippet of that, I'm afraid, but it is disappointing there. Also, I had another, so I feel sorry for Newcastle United winning today. I just want to talk to another tweet I got sent. Now, he's a fan of Burnley. He's called Jake Allen Perry, I think. That's his hashtag, that's his name anyway. This is what he has to say. As a fan of the club and someone who sees a lot more behind the scenes, I believe that Daz can defend the team just like I will. We need to get confidence on and off the pitch. How about instead of being negative, you try to be positive and have a bit of belief in Daz? I'm sorry, but that is just, I can't defend that second half display. We are negative. We don't play football. The board are absolutely. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. The second half performance was terrible. You cannot hide from that fact. I will be tweeting back to him later because I'm furious at what he said. But I've had more retweets on my tweet. But I want you to go and troll Darren Bentley's his Twitter address is #IdleandWild and get him to wake up and smell the coffee. Quite honestly, because I've named and shamed him now. But there we are. Well, we've come to the end of our programme. We've managed to get both managers' views on the situation. So we've had 2 games that have produced 7 goals in those 2 games. We had 2 at Turf War today, where in my commentary game where Burnley led against Huddersfield, only to contrive to lose the lead. Deservedly so, although we should have had 2 clear penalties. But Huddersfield were worthy of a point, possibly even 3. And then at Old Trafford, at half-time in that game, Jose Mourinho was a dead man walking. No getting away from that. But then in the second half, Manchester United produced a comeback of all comebacks of epic, utter proportions, and have pulled off, some will probably say, one of the most unlikely 3-2 wins you'll see all season. Thank you very much for joining myself and Chris Whiteman for the last 5.5 hours. It's been mammoth, it's been brilliant, it's been controversial, it's been absolutely terrific. We've had all sorts of talking points and 2 games that have brought you 7 live goals for us to describe. It's been amazing. Tomorrow, the action doesn't stop this weekend. Tomorrow or Monday we'll bring you commentary, whether it's live or delayed, of the big game at Anfield between between Liverpool and Manchester City. So join us at some point later on this weekend for that if you can. But until then, from me, JB, have a fantastic Saturday night. Enjoy Match of the Day. And thank you very much for tuning in for those last 5.5 to 6 hours. That's brought you some reward with 7 goals in those 2 commentary games. Have a wonderful Saturday, and we'll see you tomorrow. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time for more Saturday afternoon football, where we'll be at Manchester City against Burnley, and then Huddersfield's trip to Liverpool. So that's a nice Saturday doubleheader for you. That's in 2 weeks' time. But until then, have a wonderful Saturday, and we'll see you very soon. From me, JB, and from Chris, good night.